Just go live, yeah. Let's do it. Are you guys okay with drippy air conditioning unit right here? It's just condensation. It's not a big deal. It's like when your cup is really wet when you're in Houston, Texas. How many people came from out of town to be here today? I love it. We had at least 2 people, 3 people. You didn't raise your hand. San Francisco. Where'd you guys come from? Texas? Tucson? Bro, did you literally say Tucson? Get the heck out of here. Okay, let me address the audience real fast and make sure that we're all on the same page of what we're going to accomplish today. A lot of this is going to be stuff that you guys have already heard. Are we okay with being redundant? You're Zon. Are you here in Arizona?
Yeah, bro.
Full time?
Yep.
Love you, dude. Good to see you.
Bye, you too, bro.
Don't let him fool you. His name is not John, okay? You're Zon. He will tell you, oh, call me John. Okay. All right, guys, we are going to be hanging out for the next probably 2.5 to 3 hours. And we're going to be primarily talking about what is bird dogging and how you can get your first deal. I'm going to give you guys takeaway steps, homework, and we're going to be really, really basic for people today. I find that as I talk about bird dogging, I have not done it with a live audience. And so tonight I want to do some Q&A with people in the audience. And if you guys want to interrupt me today, interrupt me, raise your hand, and we'll do all of those things, okay? We're going to go probably until about 7:30. Does anybody already have bird dogging questions?
Yes.
You do?
Wi-Fi password.
What's the Wi-Fi password? That's a great one. What I love is I also have somebody in the front row. Dajay, your birthday was just the other day. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Was it yesterday?
Yes, it was.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. That's freaking awesome. You'll do 26 deals this year.
Hell yeah.
Maybe more.
I think more.
Are you on number 4 or number 5 right now?
4.
You're on number 4. Okay. And I was able to do your first deal.
Yes.
Which is great. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But the main thing I want to do today is just cover the basics. And so I'm not going to address the audience that much. I'm actually making this so it's a recording. So anytime somebody says, what is bird dogging? I can give this recording to them. So I no longer have to talk about bird dogging. Is that okay? As somebody who just wants to talk about big deals that I'm doing, I just struck this incredible opportunity. I think is like my $1 billion exit. And not now, but like I got to work towards it. And people go, what's bird dogging? I'm like, gosh, dang it. I want to talk about this, but I'm in the bird dogging world. So I want to do this recording and retire the bird dogging for at least the rest of the year in terms of my content. Okay. That's the purpose of this today. Thank you guys for being here in person. Should be a lot of fun. I wish I could go all the way over there. I usually love hanging out in the audience, but there's no cameras over there and they want me on camera the whole time. Okay. But make sure you don't forget, I want you guys to raise hands when it's appropriate, even though I won't walk over there, okay? And I have somebody that, does everybody know the Maddie story? Yes. Who doesn't know the Maddie story? Holy crap, I've done a really good job telling everybody except for the one guy that doesn't pay attention to anything. I love it. What's your name? Kobe? Obi. Oh, Obi. Okay, Obi. Nice to meet you, Obi. Obi, I am writing a book right now called Start Here, meaning anybody asks the question of how do I start in real estate? What are my first steps? I'm going to give them the book and say, start here. Okay. And the book is essentially, I'm going through 6 different types of people. And I find that there's a lot of people that kind of make, I wouldn't say excuses. I think that everybody has really valid reasons why they're stuck in real estate for whatever reason. But these avatars that I drew out about a year ago were kind of the same type of people over and over and over in my DMs or when I would travel around the country and meet people in person. It's the same type of people. It's single moms. Are those excuses or reasons they're not successful? I can tell you they're not excuses. Those kids are hard, especially when you have, hey, Sarabi, can you get me a couple of black markers? Or Joel, will you grab me a couple of black markers? Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so single moms, busy dads, right? Dads that are working 2 or 3 jobs. Now, here's the downfall to this, because there's some people who go, well, I'm a busy mom. Why are you only identifying busy dads? I'll tell you how why this is a problem. I also have a high schooler that does not want to go to college. I have a young deaf girl, so she has an impairment. I have a wounded vet. I don't know why that pops up all the time, but it does. I'm not a vet, but apparently I attract a lot of vets that say, I can't do this because I'm a wounded vet. Okay, cool. And then I also have somebody that I call the impossible investor. Who would that be? That would be somebody that is literally homeless. It is impossible that that person should ever be able to do a deal. And I then have now been introduced to somebody I'll introduce to you in just a second. And this person is somebody who uses side hustles to survive. There's a lot of people, side hustle culture is a big deal. Uber drivers, for example, how many Uber drivers in the United States, you guys know? No clue? How many truck drivers, Dajay? 7 million people either work in truck driving or logistics, but logistics with truck driving. Is truck driving going to be around in 7 to 10 years? You're a truck driver. Are you afraid of that a little bit? Or now that you know how to bird dog, you're not really afraid of it? Isn't that kind of cool? It's like a liberating feeling, right? So I've kind of identified these people as of a year ago, and I decided I was going to write a book called Start Here. And instead of just writing a book about theory, what I decided to do was take one person at a time and actually give them the information and then have them do the homework, and the book will essentially be written by their actions. Make sense? Well, the first person I helped was Maddie, the homeless person. She reached out to me in April. She wrote me an email and said, I want to get a deal done. I don't know how to get into real estate. And I said, if you are homeless, what are the problems that a homeless person has, guys? Do they have money? Okay, so they don't have money. Do they have knowledge? Yes. Are they formally educated? No. Do they have income? Are they they have a social help, meaning like friends, family members are helping them out? Okay, what are some other things that might be holding them back? Okay, their ability to communicate. Yeah, I like that. Okay, there you go. That's a good one. Mindset. Technology. Okay, mental illness or mental issues, right? Potentially. Maybe they have a substance issue. I was actually really surprised to learn that most homeless people that are on the streets nowadays actually don't have substance issues. The ones that we think of like Skid Row, et cetera. Do you guys know the statistic of children in America? 1 in 30 kids in America sleep in their parents' car. Do you think that's substance abuse? It's not. It's actually affordable housing. The number one reason for homelessness right now is affordable housing. I would look up a charity called Family Promise. Family Promise is a nationwide charity that helps people that have young kids. They have jobs. They might be a Target worker or they might be a Walmart greeter or what have you, and they're making $16, $17 an hour. They're the sole breadwinner for their family and they have 3 kids. You think they can survive in today's age? No, right? So there's a lot of that goes on, okay? So here's what happens when I helped Maddie, the homeless person. The number one thing I get in my DMs is, what do you guys think? As an excuse of why people can't do it. They saw Maddie do it just recently. Like you guys know I'm picking Maddie up on the 14th of this month from the shelter, driving her to her first $500,000 home. She will own herself. She has 7 tenants that are paying all the rent for her. I shouldn't say rent, the mortgage. They're renting the property from her. She lives in one of the rooms. Not only will it cover all of the expenses, the utilities, the landscape maintenance, the cleaning, the mortgage, everything you'd imagine, she'll also make $2,000 a month in net cash flow and have a free room. I'm picking her up from a shelter and moving her directly into a home. Did I do the work? No, she did the work. I just taught her how to do it. What do you think is the number one excuse I get when people watch that story? We're not homeless. Guys, I am not joking you. That is what people's bullshit mentality is I'm not homeless. Do you have any, Pace, do you have any education for people that are not homeless? I'm like, I literally took the most impossible situation, and your thought is, that's not me. So I can't do it either. Okay, cool. Anybody a busy dad in here? Or a busy grandparent? Okay. Anybody in here have high schoolers or know somebody's high school or doesn't want to go to college or actually thinks college is maybe dead? Okay. What about single moms? Any single moms in here? Okay. Cool. Will you identify with this avatar more than you'll identify with Maddie, the homeless person? Be honest. The answer is yes.
Yeah, it would be.
Isn't it really interesting how messed up we are as human beings? Right? Like I asked somebody the other day, I go, it was a girl actually in my office. I go, hey, you know, Patrick Bet David, he said this thing online. And the girl says, what? Who's Patrick Bet David? How many dudes in here are like, what? Well, we as men typically listen to men, people that look like us, talk like us, have the same flow. Same thing with women. Do you think my wife's algorithm on Instagram is exactly like my algorithm? No. She's listening to Mel Robbins. I'm listening to Tony Robbins, right? And so I understand that there's so many different avatars. And so I have a new person that we are helping through bird dogging, and she's right here. Her name is Ellie. And Ellie was, we found her. She's an Uber driver. And Ellie is the new person that we're going to be helping, just similar like what we did with Matt. Okay? So today's education is primarily for Ellie. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, with Ellie, the main thing I'm going to teach her is bird dogging today. She doesn't know much about bird dogging, I would imagine, right, Ellie?
Just the basics.
Okay, I'm going to pretend like you know nothing.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll jump into all of that, which will be a lot of fun. And you will end up being this avatar, the side hustle avatar. How much could you make in Uber a year ago on a daily basis?
About 300.
About 300. How much can you make now on average? Like half that?
Maybe half, yeah.
And why is that? What's happening in the industry?
A lot of the robo cars, the driverless cars are taking over. So.
Okay, so is this whole AI world that 2 years ago I made a post in the SubTo Facebook group and I go, AI's coming for your lunch? And somebody in there's like, you're fear-mongering, Pace, calm down. It's starting to manifest, right? You go into gas stations. How many people have been in gas stations you can buy stuff without talking to a human being? Is Izzy here? Where's Izzy? One of the girls on my social media team, I was just talking to her about your story. And I go, what do you think is happening? She goes, oh, Waymo. I go, yeah, like, why do you know? And she goes, because I actually prefer Waymo. It's more expensive than Uber. Why? Because she wants to get in the back of a car and talk to her boyfriend without feeling like somebody's listening to her conversation. So what's happening is the convenience of having somebody else drive you is now being replaced with the convenience of a robot. Is this going to be significant in the next 3 to 5 years, you think? In 1 year, your income got cut in less than half. What do you think is going to happen in a year?
Another half.
Will you be able to pay your bills in a year?
Absolutely not.
You're on the cusp right now of not being able to pay your bills right now.
Absolutely.
Cool. So you think this is maybe important for you to know?
Most definitely.
Okay, so what's cool is I did not plan this, but Dajé is sitting right behind you. I just did a deal with Dajé. Super proud of her. She did, I think the second deal you did right after me was with Kelly. You guys made like $35,000 or something.
Yeah.
32,000?
It was around there.
You're making so much money you just forgot? Like, what's up?
Not intentional.
Okay. That deal got split up between a couple of people, so I don't expect her to remember that. She JV'd, she joint ventured with a couple of people. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off with, we're going to act as if nobody in this room knows what bird dogging is. I'm going to pretend like you don't know anything, and we're going to talk about what a regular real estate transaction looks like, the parties that are involved, and then we'll get deeper and deeper and deeper. And in about 1 hour from now, we will transition into giving you action steps in what you have to do. Okay? Give you actual homework. Okay, so I wish somebody taught me this. It's now become so common for people to see this drawing of mine that it doesn't seem that magical. In fact, most people look at this drawing and they go, man, that's boring. Show me something new. This would have been transformational for me when I first started in real estate 12 years ago. Transformational. And now it's just people are like, Pace, really? You're going to draw this thing again? Guys, where do deals come from?
Motivated sellers.
They always come from sellers. Why? That's where it is derived from. Every single time, whether I buy a piece of real estate, who's got the feedback going? Is that us or is that somebody's phone? Okay. Don't play it on your guys' phone because then it feeds back to me and I can hear it. I think it's the speaker is what ends up happening. Okay. So it doesn't matter if this is a fix and flip at some point, if this is a buy and hold, which we'll cover in a minute. It doesn't matter if this is a business, right? People are buying a lot of businesses. Doesn't matter if it's a car wash. Doesn't matter if it's a piece of land. It doesn't matter if it's an RV park or a mobile home park. It doesn't matter if it's an apartment building. It does not matter what the deal is. Every single deal will start with somebody who is selling that deal. Make sense? Okay. For us to know, it's important for us to know that because you need to understand who is locking up those deals and who is communicating with those sellers in the first place. And why so many people have a hard time getting into real estate is because of that job. Okay. So when I first jumped into the business, what I did was something we called direct to seller wholesaling. Okay. That's the first thing I did back 12 years ago. So 2013. What I did is I learned how to spend money to find sellers who are in distress. Okay, what is distress? What is pain? That would be divorce. That would be maybe foreclosure. That would be probate, somebody that inherited a house they don't want. That could be job loss, maybe relocation, armed services, stuff like that. So I could go on and there's about 65 pain points that sellers go through. They repeat themselves over and over and over and over and over and over. We can spend money as this person, direct to seller, DTS, meaning I'm going to communicate directly to the seller and I'm going to negotiate with that seller. So let's rattle off some skills that you have to be this person. Yours on, what do I have to do to be good at this? Sales? Marketing?
Follow up.
Yep, follow up. CRM? Persistence. Can you be a little bitch if you're doing this? Okay, we're not going to be little bitches because what happens is you're going to go through. How many people are in sales in some regard? Okay, and every time you get on a phone call or an email, it's a yes, right? Like 100% of the time? You wish, right? This requires a lot of persistence, which I love. I think a lot of it comes down to mindset and not giving up. Okay. You also have to have an understanding of human nature. Okay. You also have to have access to capital, understanding of contracts, understanding of legal, right? Cool. You see all these barriers to entry for people going to sellers and locking up foreclosure houses? How many people in here already are like, I don't want to be that person? Yeah, you already know, which I love. You got to love somebody who goes, I don't want to be that person. Well, guess what? There's 50 other ways to make money in a real estate transaction, and that's just one of them. So one of the key components of becoming successful in real estate is understanding who you are and what role you can play today, okay? This is a challenging thing. Now, I was a contractor, so think about this. Before I got into real estate in 2013, I was a contractor, meaning I would find homeowners who wanted to expand their house, or maybe they were getting ready to sell it, or they were going to do whatever. And I would market to them to go and build rapport, sales. I would market them, sales. I would then listen to them, build rapport, right? Is this something that maybe a wholesaler has to do, is build rapport?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I would build rapport with them. I would understand their problem. I would listen, and then I would follow up with a solution, which would be my estimate to do the job. They wouldn't take my estimate because now I'm dealing with competition, right? Do contractors deal with competition?
Yes.
Cool. So I dealt with competition. I understood the word tracks. I understood how to overcome the competition. I understood how to follow up. And I knew that I wasn't going to land every job that I did. Then I landed the job. I had the contracts and I followed through and I did the thing. When I jumped into construction, from construction into real estate, do you see how I was already good at the majority of these line items? So I hit the ground running. And for the first 5 or 6 years that I was in this game, I just was like, why is this so hard for people to be a wholesaler? And I didn't really realize until probably 5 years ago that I already was a wholesaler. I just was doing it in construction, and my understanding of the game was already there. Kind of had the cheat code. For people that are, who's not in sales right now in your organization, in your company? Okay, if you're not in sales, you're gonna have a really hard time being a wholesaler and negotiating and cold calling and cold calling and cold calling. If you are in any sort of sales, especially like insurance or roofing or solar sales, you got to go talk to 200 people before you get a deal. Okay. So this is how I started. I used to spend 20 grand a month in marketing. 20 grand a month in marketing. What did I spend my marketing on? I spent it on postcards. I spent it on mailers, Facebook ads. I spent it on everything you can imagine. I spent my money on to get this person to call me. Then I went to 40 grand a month in 2016, 17, and 18 because I hired a team of cold callers to then cold call them. So I'm spending $40,000 a month to get contracts with these sellers. Anybody feel like doing that right now? No. Now, I made good money. My best year as a wholesaler, I made $1.4 million take home. And so this is really attractive to people. People look at that $1.4 million and they go, I can work from my own home? No, dude, is one of the reasons why I bought a Prius. I was driving around all these houses and I was in appointments and I was having conversations and I got really, really, really good at this business. I never really dealt with a real estate agent until probably 2017. And that's when I realized there's a whole other side to the business, which was actually marketing to agents and going a different route. Okay. I think you make less money. I think it's a little bit easier in some regard, but you do make less money. So direct to seller is one way to do it. Another way to do it is calling agents that are having a hard time selling the house, right? They're representing the seller and you call the agent. You're not going to spend money on marketing, but all of this other stuff is still true. Okay. Awesome. So this person that is the wholesaler, what does a wholesaler do? What's their objective? What are they trying to do?
Put a deal under contract.
Put a deal under contract and do what with it?
Sell it. Assign it.
Okay, so they want to sell this, right? So my first deal I ever got was a $150,000 contract, right? I got what is called a PSA, a purchase and sale agreement. I then found a buyer, and my buyer paid $175,000 for that. How much money did I make? Made 25 grand. Okay. This is what most people think of as a wholesale transaction. Buyer buys a deal directly from a wholesaler. Okay. Now, does the buyer actually come up with that $175,000 if they're going to be the fix and flipper of that house? Typically not. The lady that I found the deal for, Bethany was using a hard money lender that was funding all her deals. So here's how that works, just real quick, because it's going to get one step more complicated. Bethany would go to her hard money lender that was like a retired doctor that just had more money than he knew what to do with, and he just loaned her money to flip houses. Okay, kind of a good gig for him. In our world, we call these people gators. Okay, you'll hear that nomenclature quite often. So Bethany would ask her hard money lender, hey, I need $175,000 plus my construction money. Where does that gator wire that money? To Bethany? To title, right? So there's a title company down here that handles all these transactions, right? So this title company, who works at the title company? an escrow officer, okay? Escrow officer, it's 99.9% a lady, and if it's a guy, they won't last long. These women are just way more organized. They care more about people. They understand the attention to detail. Sorry, guys, if you're an escrow officer, you suck. So this hard money lender wires the $175,000 plus closing costs, so that'd be like another $10,000. And that money stays here at title until the final day of the transaction. Where does that money go? Well, 25 grand goes to me for bringing the deal to her. $150,000 goes to this part of the transaction. And then $10,000 goes to the escrow officer for running the transaction. So do we understand how the money flows? One of the most common questions I get is, where does the money come from? And how do these people get paid? How does the bird dog get paid? Well, where's the bird dog in this transaction? They don't exist. There is no bird dog in this transaction. We are going to open that up, okay? This is a pretty typical transaction. Now, what's Bethany going to do with this house? Okay, this is where I wish I spent way more time and energy on the front end of the business, is understanding these three things. Bethany, a lot of times, would also wholesale the houses I would bring her when she was too busy to fix and flip them herself. She would then bird dog them to somebody else. She'd just kick them over to somebody else and make $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. Why didn't she buy it?
No time.
She was too busy. She had too many houses going and she didn't want to say no to me. So she added $5 grand to the top and sent it to one of her friends. Okay. What's another thing she was doing? She was actually fixing and flipping these houses, right? Who is her buyer on a fix and flip?
Retail buyers?
A family.
Yeah.
Right? She's going to put it on the retail market. A retail buyer moves in, typically a family. Cool. This C is what? What is the other thing she could do? Buy and hold. Now, buy and hold is very vast, right? We've got Airbnb, Section 8. People are obsessed with Section 8 right now. Co-living is huge, right? Co-living is going to continue to blow up. I wish I spent a little bit more time on this part of the business, understanding it as I bird dogged for Bethany for a year, because I would have learned a lot more paying attention to what she was doing with the houses. What I was spending most of my time doing is being in the living room and turned a blind eye to this part of the business. Dajé, for example, if I didn't tell you the other day that I sold the house you brought to me, and I didn't tell you that I made $55,000 on it, you would not have probably followed up in any short time frame. You probably would be like, hey, Pace, whatever happened to the house? Right? Because that's not your focal point. Your focal point is trying to get more deals, correct? Do you feel that with your bones of like, I haven't paid attention to what Pace is doing. I'm over here trying to find another deal. Yeah. Cool. So the mentality we need to understand of each one of these people in this situation is so critically important. Now, if Bethany is wholesaling, fixing and flipping, and buying and holding, this lady's not busy at all, right? She has all the time on the planet to go and find her own deals, right?
No, she doesn't.
No. So I'm playing a role, right? This is my role here. Bethany's playing a role here. What are the types of things that Bethany is dealing with on a daily basis?
Contractors.
Ooh, contractors are really easy to deal with, right? Okay, so she's dealing with contractors. What else is she dealing with? Does she have to raise money? Okay, permits.
Private money.
Tenants. Does she have to deal with the city? Does she have to go down and pick out tile selections? What about the agent that sells the houses for her? What about the buyer that wants to move in and says, well, I need a blue tape and there's paint on the thing and I need you to clean this and the AC is not perfect? Is she a busy person, yes or no?
Very busy, yeah.
So do you see why the value of bringing her an opportunity is there?
Yes.
Why do I have to hit home on this? Because it's a question I get all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If the buyer is such a great buyer, why aren't they just buying the deals directly to the seller? Does a buyer have time to be in the living room negotiating these deals? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. All right. So we understand these roles. All right. Now, let's talk about bird dogs. This little opening, this little gap here. And this is a fun little situation because I own a title company and we get about 200 files open every month. Okay, a file would be a new house that somebody's trying to flip or fix and flip or wholesale the contract. About 200 files open up every month at our title company. Do you guys know what percentage of these transactions that are being wholesaled, what percentage of them have a bird dog involved in them? It's a little over 60%. So it's like 67% of the time, there is a bird dog in between or more than one bird dog in between. Yeah, actually the last 5 bird dog deals I bought since yours all had 3 bird dogs in. Every one of them. Maddie's deal had 4.
Wow.
Yep. Do I care if I'm going to make $55,000 on my side? No, I want the bird dogs to make more money. Why? Because they'll go find me another deal. If I was like, hey, Dajay, I'm going to pay you $500 on this deal, would you bring me another deal in the future? No.
I can make that driving over the road.
There you go. Me paying you as the buyer is my future marketing that you're going to continue to bring me deals. Do we understand the value of all these parties, my friends? Does anybody have a question about this specific thing? Yes, go ahead. The Wi-Fi password, just so you, I'm kidding, sorry. Go ahead.
If you're paying 4 people, why? I mean, did they all bring you the same deal and you just are going to spread it out instead of taking the first one that brought it to you?
Okay, so great. This is interesting. This is why visuals are so important. First and foremost, I don't pay all 4 people. If Dajay sent me a deal and then Ellie sent me the deal at basically they're the same address, the first person that it hits my inbox is the person that gets paid.
Okay.
When I pay 4 bird dogs on a deal, it's not because they all sent the same deal. It's because those bird dogs sent the deal to each other, and each bird dog did not have a buyer until the final bird dog actually had the buyer. I did a deal with a SubTo member in Arizona. His name's Spencer. He'll make, in 2024, he netted $3 million doing nothing but bird dogging. Nothing but bird dogging in Arizona. Okay? He takes his money and opens barbecue joints in Gilbert. Okay? Spencer bought a deal from me, says, hey, can I buy a deal from you? And there were 16 bird doggers on this deal before Jason, the buyer, bought it. And then Jason called me after the transaction is over. Can I see who's involved in a transaction until it's closed?
No.
It's physically impossible. So when people go, why would you pay those 4 bird dogs? I didn't know there was 4 people. The only person I knew on the deal I bought from Dajay was Dajay. The only person I knew that was involved when I bought the deal from Maddie was Maddie. I didn't know where Maddie got it from and where that person got it from and where that person got it from. I had no idea. All I know is, does it make sense for me mathematically to buy the deal and go flip it? Make sense? And I'll walk through a couple of transactions for you. Okay? But I want you to understand how common this is. This is not a 1 out of 10. This is not a 3 out of 10 or even a 5 out of 10. It is nearly 7 out of 10 times this is happening. And I want you to understand also why this is happening. And then we'll talk about what the daily activities of this person is. Why is this happening so much? Okay? It's happening because, Dajay, you brought me a deal. And shortly after, I stopped buying deals. Do you remember this?
Yes.
And my team told you we're on pause, correct?
Yes.
Did that stop you from going and finding deals and bringing them to other people?
No.
In fact, me saying, hey, I'm not buying right now, I have too many houses, incentivized you to go find other buyers and go away from me for a while, right?
Yeah.
And so have you started to feel the spider web of your world being created of like, oh my gosh, people are literally just trading these houses like Pokemon cards? Have you started feeling that yet? When you don't know that feeling, it's impossible for me to articulate this to you until you're at your level where you've done 3 or 4 deals and you start realizing where deals come from, and that sometimes you'll send out a deal to somebody and then somebody will send you a deal that you just sent out to somebody else. You're seeing that, correct? Yeah, and it won't ever stop, okay? What happens is the timing of the buyer. So here's what's funny. Pay attention to this. Dajay, me, the buyer, on the deal you brought to me. Okay, you brought me a deal. You copied and pasted an address from a wholesaler off an online listing.
Yeah.
We went and I closed this. You got paid $5,000 for what, 15 minutes worth of work probably?
Yeah.
And you got paid like 6 days or so?
Yeah.
Cool. I had no idea who the person was that brought this deal to the table until we closed it. I bought the deal, I own it, and I get a settlement statement showing me everybody that got paid after. And guess what I found? I've done 50 deals with this person. Welcome to real estate. That will happen over and over and over. Pace, why doesn't that wholesaler just send all their deals to you? Because I say no because of timing so frequently. What is the most challenging part of being a buyer? Contractors. Do I have endless contractors? How many people have dealt with contractors and got screwed? Sucks, right? So when you find one or two really good crews, that's all you want. And so most people that fix and flip are sticking between 8 to 20 properties a year at the very, very most, based on having 2 or 3 crews. Do you think my team kind of knows when we have too many houses going on and when to say no to even a good deal? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is this making sense?
Yes.
So Dajé brought me a deal from somebody I've done deals with before. But this person does a deal with me, then they bring me another deal, and I go, hey, we're not buying right now. Is that wholesaler going to go, okay, let me know when I should start marketing again for more houses?
No.
Come on, guys, yes or no?
No.
Their business is what? They make money going and getting contracts. So what happens is they go, okay, Pace is not buying anymore, so they go find another buyer. This happens over and over and over and over, that I'm not their only buyer. And what ends up happening is Pace goes on a 45-day pause. Is my team, Heidi, texting every one of our wholesalers and saying, hey guys, we're opening up our buying pool right now. Yes or no?
No.
Does Heidi have time to do that? No. And so there's timing. What you're doing with bird dogging a lot of times is you are making money based on the improper timing in the industry. That's really what you did. You go, well, this wholesaler, if you knew this wholesaler doesn't know that Pace is actively buying right now. So I'm just going to take their inventory, take their name off of it, send it over to Pace's team. They know I'm bird dogging. You're not hiding that. I just don't know who sent it to me. All I have is an address, a price, and some photos. That's all I had. Okay? So I say yes to the deal. You get paid. I find out at the end of at close of escrow, my team goes, hey, just so you know, this is one of our best suppliers. They send us stuff all the time. There's a timing issue. Okay? I then buy your deal, and guess what? I bought your deal and then 2 more, and then my team stopped buying for about 30 days. Guess what? There's 5,000 buyers in Phoenix, Arizona that all are doing the same thing. They're not always buying. They are buying for 2 or 3 weeks. They load up on inventory. They get their crew started, and then they stop doing what?
Fine.
Okay. So now their suppliers go, hey, I got another deal. And it sucks that you got the email or my team told you. It sucked when you heard that, right?
Yeah.
But it also forced you to go find other buyers.
It did. It
Challenge you. Okay. So your role as the bird dog is basically fixing you're like the timing belt of the vehicle. You're fixing the timing. That is your job as the bird dog. You are making sure that all the parties are aware when people are buying and when they're not. That's really what you're doing. Now, did you have to comp your deal?
No.
You didn't have to comp.
I get the comps from the wholesaler.
Okay, interesting. So you didn't have to compete with wholesalers on the deal. You didn't have to cold call. You didn't have to have the capital. You didn't have to worry about the contracts, whether it's legal or not legal. You didn't have to worry about sales processes. You didn't have to worry about marketing, really a lot of any follow-up whatsoever, other than, hey, Heidi, do you like this deal? Or Pace's team, do you like this? Hey, did you see the thing? That's basically it. Do you have a big fancy CRM you spend money on? Did you have to be really persistent? No. What about Were you a little bitch? I regret now writing this on the board. You didn't have to really go through a lot of mindset issues when you sold the deal to me, okay? And you didn't have to go and build rapport with the seller and do all of that stuff. Did you have to deal with contractors and raising money and dealing with the design and wondering if the city was going to come and shut you down? Because, by the way, we didn't get a permit on this house.
No.
Right, but and that's a really busy road you would assume we would get a permit on. I went and gambled on not getting a permit. Okay, finished the house, it's already sold. That gamble paid off. Did you have to deal with any of that stuff?
No.
Okay. I mean, I was a contractor for 10 years, so we know when to take the risk and when not to take the risk. We didn't move bathrooms. The house is sick though, right?
It turned out beautiful.
Yeah.
I looked at it on.
Don't go tell my freaking buyer that I didn't pull a permit. I'm just kidding. We tell our buyers, no, we didn't do a permit. Okay, so this is a pretty magical role, right? You are finding suppliers. What are these guys doing on a daily basis or gals doing on a daily basis? We just talked about it. They are hammering the phones, calling divorce people, foreclosure. They're going down to the auction. They're doing everything they possibly can, knocking doors, okay? What's that? Yes, doing everything. They're texting sellers. They're sending mail. They're PPC. You see a lot of my friends like Brent Daniels that are on, he's spending $200,000 a month in marketing to be on TV saying, I'll buy your house. I've got big muscles. Okay. Now, here's what's funny. Nicholas Sandoval says, how do you know when to gamble on permits? Guess what you don't ever have to worry about, Nicholas Sandoval? It's so funny that a newbie will go, okay, but how do I do this? Bro, you've never done a deal. Stop worrying about it. Well, how do I do the marketing? Don't worry about it. If you've persisted and tried to do this and you still haven't done a deal, then focus on bird dogging. Stop asking questions about things that I'm afraid. Is there literally anything to be afraid of now, Dajay?
No.
Okay. Did anybody watch my YouTube live yesterday when I called the seller in foreclosure? Guys, when I call a seller in foreclosure after doing this for 12 years, I still have butterflies in my stomach going, am I going to be able to solve this person's problem? I never feel that when I'm bird dogging a deal for somebody. I don't have fear. I don't have anxiety. I don't have anything. You have the least amount of risk, which means you have zero risk, right? Cool. Now, that's kind of a mess, right? We all followed it?
Yes.
Okay, so the bird dog does what the bird dog does. Let's see, you gave me a list. I have a list. Okay. We covered, here's a real estate transaction. We covered the parties involved. We covered what is a bird dog. We're going to cover it one more time. Why are they needed? Have we covered why bird dogs are needed and how valuable they are? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How do they get paid? Assignment contract. But where does the money come from? That's an important part. The private money lender or hard money lender, right? That's how they get paid. That's where that money comes from. Okay. We've covered that. What are the steps involved? We're going to cover that next. And how often can I do a deal? Am I hammering this home or not, Sarabi?
You're on time. I'm so proud of you.
Am I on time? Okay. Trying to make sure that Sarabi knows I don't go off track. I'm trying to rebrand myself as Sarabi. Okay, let me break down the deal with Maddie, and I'll go through the steps involved, and then I want to give you guys. I know that a lot of you guys have already heard this, but thank you so much because this is going to be like a little mini course I give away for free, so I don't have to answer these questions again. You guys are all doing me an awesome favor. I'm over here trying to build a $100 million company, and I got people asking me about bird dogging. Yeah, that's definitely one of them for sure. Now, Dajay, I never actually got the backstory of your particular deal, sadly. No, we never took the time to do it, sadly. But I love the backstory of a deal. I love to know why did the seller sell? So let's go through that real quick. Kelly, who you met, and that's what made you feel like I could do this too, right? She's in SubTo, you're in SubTo. You go, I'm going to do this thing. You come meet me at a meetup at a house that Kelly did.
I was literally in my hand, just
Love it. So check this out. Here's how that deal worked. The first deal that kind of spurred on the bird dog training this year that made me realize I probably should hammer home on bird dogging and put it in the vault and make sure it's all there available is this seller in Chandler, not your deal, but this seller in Chandler has a flood in their house. They get an insurance check. Guess what? There's 1,000 reasons why people go through pain. House floods. It was an air conditioning unit. They didn't have garbage cans like we do. So really, that's what happened. The seller had a flood.
Can you help me, please? So I need to help me.
Hey, Adler, mute all those knuckleheads on Zoom.
Table down.
He's ordering a burrito at Filiberto's. What do you guys think his flavor is? Arizona burrito? You think California burritos are better than Arizona burritos? No, I know. It's Arizona burrito. What do we add to ours? It's California burrito with I think we add potato stars.
It's like carne asada fries and a burrito.
Oh, you have carne asada. Okay, sweet. All right, so this seller decides I'm not going to sell through a real estate agent because my house just flooded. And I just got a big fat insurance check. So what did this seller see? Is this seller saw one of our higher level students who spends money on what? Okay, he had a TV ad that was being ran. His name is Doug. It wasn't Doug, it was somebody on Doug's team. Seller calls off their TV ad. What happens is this person goes into the living room and gets what? A PSA, a contract for a reduced price on the house. Anybody want to go and spend $200,000-$300,000 a month on marketing? Okay. So we have another member in our community. His name is Matt in SubTo. Matt is 23 years old. We're halfway through the year right now, and Matt is already at $450,000 in income just from bird dogging. Okay. He just got engaged. His fiance is also helping him out. Okay. Matt was SubTo member of the year in 2024. Really super sweet guy. I'm sure you've met him, right, Daje?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, do we have a Matt in every part of the country in SubTo?
Yeah.
Do we have a member? I mean, Larry, you probably know better than anybody else because you network with so many people in SubTo. Is there a state in the country we don't have hundreds of members doing deals? I mean, not hundreds probably, but yeah, like Chris Neer. Chris Neer just made $900,000 this year. So like we have a lot of people, even Fargo, North Dakota, we got people that are like Matt. So what I don't want you to do is write down Matt's name. Why am I not telling you guys Matt's name? Because you guys are lazy. And what you'll do is instead of networking inside the SubTo community, you'll literally just reach out to Matt. Daje, has that happened to you?
Yes.
Is it not insane to you how lazy people are? That they, like, instead of networking and doing what they should do, they just go to the person, I bring up their name. I feel sorry for you, actually. I told my wife the other night, I was like, poor Daje, like it's her birthday. She's probably been peppered by people's DMs and stuff. It's nice, but it's also like, holy crap, guys, network with somebody else other than me. I can't do all the networking, right?
I put in the work.
Right.
Like, I don't want to open, but put in your hat on it.
Go network with other people than just me. But what people do is they hear your name and then they only reach out to you.
Surprised they could spell it.
Yeah. Well, I tag you, so sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so Matt, who you know, I won't bring up his last name because people will pepper him. Matt tells Doug's team, hey, if you guys ever have a deal, you ever have a deal? Do you know what Matt does every single day? He reaches out to his suppliers. This is a supplier of a deal. A wholesaler equals a supplier. Every day, Matt has a text blast to all his suppliers. Hey, what do you have for me to look at? What do you have for me to look at? He works about 2 hours a day. He's texting Doug and his team, hey, what do you have for me to look at? What do you have for me to look at? What do you have for me to look at? That is happening every day. Does Doug know that Matt is not going to buy that deal? Yes. He 100% knows that Matt is not going to buy the deal, but Matt is going to send it to somebody who is. Because that is honesty and transparency. That's what we love in this business. I want you to make money. I want you to go find me and network deals for me so I can go and flip houses. I want that to happen. So Matt sees a post from a girl named Kelly who's in SubTo. Okay. Kelly says, I have a buyer who has deals. Very honest, right? Matt says, hey, Doug, I have buyers who has deals. Kelly says in the SubTo Facebook group, hey, I have buyers who has a deal. Matt reaches out and goes, hey, I have a dozen deals. Kelly sends them to me. Not to me, but where does she send them? F&F at pacemorby.com. I think that's F around and find out at pacemorby.com. I told my team, I was like, why did you need to do it F and F? They're like, fix and flip. I'm like, also F around and find out. Like, people are going to think that we're being. Anyway, so you were sending emails or text message?
I did mainly text.
Okay, directly to Heidi, right? Okay, so Heidi manages this email. Okay.
It was actually emails to Heidi. I thought you meant to the wholesaler.
Oh, no. Okay, so
Yeah.
you emailed to Heidi.
Yeah,
Cool.
I emailed Heidi.
All right. So here's what happened. Doug said, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I've done this video a bunch of times. I'm not going to try and come up with the numbers, but Doug gets the property, let's just say in this example, for $500,000. Doug sells the deal to Matt for $550,000. So how much money is Doug going to make? $50,000. Why did he make so much money? Because he has so much more skill and money involved and all of those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do we get mad when wholesalers in SubTo make 50 G's? Heck no. I hope that's you someday. Right? So Doug makes 50 grand. Matt then brings the deal to Kelly and says, I want $640,000 is what he sent it to Kelly for. Matt was trying to rip like 90 G's. Okay? Heck no. I don't want my bird dogs doing comps. They don't even know their elbow from their ass. I'm sorry. I don't want my bird dogs doing comps. If you have a buyer that tells you, do your comps before you send me stuff, go to a different buyer. Because what they're doing is they're short on patience and they're short on vision. I am happy to do your comps because you took the time to bring me an opportunity. I also am going to do the comp anyway, am I not?
Yes.
So even Dajay, even if you did the comps, what do you think I'm going to do? Not do the comps and go, oh, Dajay knows what she's talking about. So if I'm already going to do the task anyway, wouldn't it just make sense for me to do it for the bird dog to incentivize them to go bring me more deals? I'm going to write, everybody pay attention to me because you will see buyers in our community nationwide and in 29 countries. You will see buyers in SubTo that go, if you don't comp your property, please don't send them to me. Are they rude or do they just have a different business model? We're not going to get upset with them. Everybody has a different business model, and that's okay. 90% of the bird dogs you're going to run into, bird dog buyers are going to be similar to me because we are a community that understand the long-term vision of, I want to have 50 Dajays in my world. Ingrid Hernandez, who you guys see on this stage all the time, she bird dogged deals to me 4 years ago. We still do deals together. That's the long-term vision I have of a relationship with somebody like Dajay. Okay. Kelly sends the deal over to my team at 640. So a couple of things I want you to understand. Did my bird dog, Kelly, comp the property, yes or no? If she did comp the property, would I decide to not comp the property?
No.
My team's still going to underwrite it, right? So why would I tell the bird dog to waste their time? The value in the bird dog, is it comping the property or finding me another property? Okay, so do we understand the vision? If you are a buyer out here watching this right now and you're in SubTo, you should understand the vision of don't waste the bird dog's time trying to get them to comp. Their value is in going and networking on your behalf. That's basically what you're doing. You're networking on my behalf, right? So Heidi came back and told Kelly, hey, I do like the deal. Did my team give you feedback on some of the deals?
Yes.
They said, no, we don't like it. It's priced too high. We would buy it at this price.
Yeah.
We gave you a no, but. No, not a good deal for us, but we would buy it at a reduced price. I'm sure that happened on most of the deals, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm giving you a no, not 640, but we would buy it for 600. And if you could get it for 600, we would pay you $10,000 on top. Does this make sense? So Kelly, what does Kelly do? She went back to Matt and says, hey, my buyer does like it. What's up, Kyle Cargus? Good to see you, brother. There's a big buyer right there. Probably even buying more than I am right now. So Kelly then says, hey, Matt, my buyer's good to go at 600 and they'll pay my fee. Let me know if that's too low or if you guys are okay with it. And Kelly, she's like, I fully expected to get a no because I asked him to reduce the price $40,000. What does Matt say? All right, send the contract. Doug makes his money. Matt makes his money. Kelly gets paid as well. Who did all the paperwork at the end? Do I want my bird dog doing paperwork?
No.
No. Go to a buyer like a Kyle Cargus or a me, and we will do the paperwork. I'm going to do the paperwork regardless. Like even if you brought me a contract, my team's going to take that over and go, yeah, so let's delete this and just do it the right way, right? Raphael Cohen says, Pace, can I ask a question? You guys can raise your hand. I will go to questions here in a minute, okay? Has this been helpful for people, by the way?
Yes.
Cool. So Kelly makes 10 grand on this. What's funny is this is how I met you. I did a meetup at this property. You went up to Kelly and were like, Pace is full of crap, right? Like there's no way it's this simple. And then 2 weeks later, you had a check.
Yeah.
And then like 30 days later, you and Kelly were doing a deal that you guys split $32-something thousand. Am I right?
Yeah.
Welcome to being in the room with the right people. Why do you think I wanted to do an in-person class? Because I should not be the main freaking person you meet here today. You got Kyle Cargus. This guy eats steak with ketchup. Sorry, Kyle. The last couple of times I hung out with him, I called him out on that because that's how I was raised too. That's that poor man's barbecue sauce. You know what I'm saying? Or is it like big family energy? Is that you think that's what it is? Might be a Mormon thing. I don't know. Okay. So let's talk about the money for a second because this is a common question that comes up all the time. How did I buy this property? By the way, it's already renovated. We have it listed right now for $925,000. I'm going to make about $90,000. Why do I care if the bird dog made 10, Matt made 20, 30, 40, and Doug made 50? Why do I care if I make my money? I don't. And if you have buyers that are upset by you making $5,000 or $10,000, go to a different buyer. There are more than enough buyers, okay? So where do I go? I go to a company called myinvestorloan.com. That's who funds all my fix and flips and does all my BRRRR loans. My Investor Loan does what? They wire money where? Okay, so I go borrow money from My Investor Loan. We send that money to title. Now, My Investor Loan doesn't fund 100% of the purchase. So where do I go for the rest of my money? PMLs or Gators, right? Inside the community. I think we raised $140,000 from Gators. So the PMLs and My Investor Loan wire the money here, totaling everything I need for purchase, for close of escrow, assignments, everything, and renovation. The money sits here at title. When we finalize the transaction, what does title do? Does title give me the money? And then this is where a lot of newbies get tripped up. They think Heidi pays Kelly. And they think then Heidi pays Matt. Is that how this works? Welcome to real estate. It's the greatest business on the planet because you do not beg for your money. Who in here has been a contractor or is a contractor? Come on, raise your hand. It's really fun doing jobs for homeowners that don't pay you, right? Chasing them down. You owe me money. You good for nothing, right? Sucks. Not only are you a therapist, but you're a bill collector as a contractor. Nobody told you that when you got into the business. That was me. I felt like 20% of what I did as a contractor was begging people to pay me. Guess what you don't do in real estate? If you forget to pick up your check at close of escrow, what do? They lose their freaking mind. Where are you? We need to get this file closed. Come pick up your gosh dang check. When Maddie, the homeless lady, got her first deal, the title company Empire was like, where are you? Where's your... That's real estate. You do not ask to get paid. They beg you to come pick up your check. Has anybody experienced that? Kyle, I know you deal with this all the time. Dajay, how did you get paid? You got paid a wire or something from title?
The first one was a check. The rest were.
It was a check, and that was directly from title?
Mm-hmm.
And you had to go pick it up?
They mailed it to me.
Oh, they mailed it to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
cool.
was waiting on that check.
Okay, cool. Yes, go ahead.
Quick question. So when you're transferring the house from one person to the next, does each phase require a purchase seller agreement?
Okay, great. Let's talk about contracts for a second. That's a great question. He's asking a question about contracts. Do we understand where the money comes from, and do we understand how everybody gets paid? Okay, so title sitting on, I'm just going to make the number up, but title sitting on all the money, right? And when we close escrow, they wire $10,000 to Kelly. Does Kelly have to call me and go, hey, Pace, you owe me money? No. Does Matt have to call me and say, Pace, you owe me money? Does Doug have to call and ask for money? Does the seller have to call and ask for money? So the title company is the person in between everybody. Now, your question has to do with what's called escrow instructions. I want you guys to write that down, escrow instructions. Okay? All right. This will happen in real estate, but pretty rarely it will happen. When you go to a restaurant, my friends, the chef or not the chef, but the waitress or waiter comes up to you and asks you what you'd like, right? They take that ticket, they take the notes, and they go, okay, you have a tree nut allergy? Okay, cool. You have dairy allergy? Okay, great. Got it. Boom, boom, boom. What do they do with that information? They go present it to the escrow officer in the back. I'm sorry, the chef. The escrow officer is the chef. And the assignment contract and the agreement that you sign is the instructions of exactly how they're supposed to handle that meal. Okay, the day before close of escrow, they send you something. I want you to write this down. They send you an estimated settlement statement saying, hey, here's what you're going to get paid. Here's the day you're going to get paid. Guess what I don't have to do if the chef messed up my order? Do I have to eat it or do I send it back to the kitchen?
Send it back.
Welcome to real estate. Real estate is freaking awesome. So here's how the agreement works. The first contract right here, this is called a PSA, purchase and sale agreement, okay? We call this the A contract to B contract, A to B. Why? Because this is party A, this is party B. Make sense?
Yes.
Who is party C?
The bird dog.
Who? What's their name?
Matt.
Okay, Matt is our party C. Okay, party C. So Matt and Doug will now sign an agreement. This is called an assignment contract. Okay, so they have their own agreement. And that would be the what contract? What would you call that contract? And guess what the escrow officer calls that contract? The B to C contract. Same language. They go, who's the B to C? Who's the C to D? They ask these questions all the time to the escrow or to the transaction coordinator. A is always seller, right? Always seller. A to B. Person that is B is the person that did the marketing and did the most work. B stands for brutal job. It's a brutal job, okay? Cool. So they're in, these people are in contract. Where does that contract go?
To the title company.
Well, it goes to the title company because it has the escrow instructions attached to it. It tells them exactly who's getting paid and what's being paid, what the EMD is. That is the order I'm sending to the kitchen. Does this make sense so far? What's your name, by the way? The person who just asked the question. Leo, does that make sense so far? Okay, cool. So contract is A to B. That's the seller and the wholesaler. Then Matt and Doug have their own assignment contract. Okay. I'm going to write ass on it. I'm sorry for young kids in the room. So the assignment contract, where does it get sent? It gets sent to the title company. So the title company has another set of escrow instructions. Making sense? Okay. Now, what's foreign to you guys is you're like, wait, so the title company handles all this stuff? Sadly, I feel bad for the title rep, but the answer is yes. Okay, who's party D? Give me a name. Kelly is party D. So here's where Kelly needed my help as my bird dog. When Kelly brought the deal to me, okay, I don't want to overcomplicate this, and this is what I've learned when I teach people, is I could tell you the two ways it's done, and then newbies, just their brain breaks. And it's like, when do I choose which one? And then it's all you can think about for 7 months. And then you go, I don't know, I haven't done a deal. I'm just so stuck on this one thing. There's two ways to do this. If you are Kelly and you really, really trust your buyer, Kelly can actually decide to get paid after you close escrow. She can get paid on the side. Don't do that. Yeah, cash or pennies, 10,000, 100,000 pennies. That's actually how I paid Kelly. Kelly did not get paid at title. I paid her $10,000 a day after I closed escrow. Why would I do that? One, Kelly trusts me. Should you trust anybody for any reason? No. So I'm giving you the heads up. Don't trust anybody, okay, Leo? Don't do it. Why would Kelly trust me? She's been in SubTo community for 2 years. She's like, you're not screwing people over, or else we would have heard about it a long time ago. Right? Would have been somewhere online. There's people that hate me online, but there ain't nobody says I screwed them over. Not one. Okay? So Heidi decided, I'm just going to go and get a contract directly with who? So we became party D, and Kelly got moved out of the way because she trusted us to do that. Don't ever do that. But Pace, why did you do it? Because in the current situation in your life right now, you guys ever go to a stoplight and it says, don't turn right on red? I turn right on every one of them shits. Every one of them. 100% of them, because I know that rule is not for me. Somebody's an insurance salesperson in here. They're like, that guy. That freaking thing that rule was meant for somebody else. It wasn't meant for me. It's meant for people that don't know how to turn left. And for some reason, it keeps happening at that particular intersection that people keep getting hit. So they make the rule for the idiots. Guess what? We all have to be an idiot in transactions for a little while. There's going to be a point where you can turn right on red, even though it says not to. Do we agree with that in some faction in your own life, in your own businesses? You're like, yeah, there's times where people say don't do this, but I do it anyway because I know better. Okay. There are things you should never do, like turn your lawnmower off when you're replacing the blade. That's a good one to like always follow that rule. Okay. But the way you should do it is what? The way you should do it is that Kelly is party D. She should have the buyer help her write the contract between her and Matt. And that would be another assignment contract, right? Does that make sense, Leo? And that goes to the title company. And the title company sees all of these orders coming in and they go, okay, we know exactly how to divvy out the money. We know exactly who gets paid, why they're getting paid. We know who's party A to party B, B to C, C to D. They know all of that stuff because we have assignment contracts in between. Make sense? And then the way it should be done is that I am party E. And then me and Kelly have our own separate contract. Where does that go? Goes to title. Now, when I'm the final person at the end of the agreement, the escrow officers, by the way, they see this thousands of times a year. This is not uncommon. This is incredibly common. And this is every transaction. What happens is the escrow officer goes, oh, okay, I see how this map is all drawn out. Who's an escrow officer? Anybody in here? Dang it. Any escrow officers in the side chat on Zoom or YouTube? Okay. They will call my team and go, who is bringing the money to the table? And then my team will then say, well, we've got this lender coming in and this lender coming in. And guess what the escrow officer will do? The escrow officer will call my investor loan and they will call the PML and go, hi, I'm the escrow officer for this transaction. I heard that you're the PML and I heard that you're the blah, 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 blah lender. Please get me your lending docs. They will do all of that work for you. Make sense? Welcome to real estate. It's the greatest business on planet Earth. Nobody can screw you. Like, it is so almost impossible for somebody to screw you over in real estate because paperwork keeps you pretty tight. All right?
Pace, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Okay, I got a cool email, so I wanted to read it.
Sarabi's interrupting me.
I know. I know, please.
Hold on. Who is now getting off track?
Okay, it might be me. But I wanted to tell you about it. So
Okay, cool.
Okay. So I got this email from a SubTo member who's been in the community for a while, actually. I think like 4 or 5 years. And they said, it's actually to Ellie. It's not to you.
Who's the student?
They want to be anonymous. So
Okay.
I'm just going to read it out loud.
You got an email, not me.
Yeah. So it says, Ellie, joining SubTo was the single best investment I ever made for my financial future. The second best was betting on myself. And now I want to make a third investment in you. So
Wow.
they said that they want to invest in your spot in the SubTo community
Thank you so
to
much.
Are you
watch
kidding
you
me?
grow.
What about me?
Yeah, sorry. I think you might be in the community already, allegedly.
I'm student number 1. So
Yes, you are student number 1.
they said that they want to get her, they want to invest in her into the SubTo community.
Yeah, they want to watch you take action. on the ground.
Whoa.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, read the bottom and tell us the name. I want to hear the name.
No, I'm not telling you the name.
Dude, that's freaking amazing.
Yes. Tell them I said thank you so much.
Absolutely, yes, I will.
Welcome to
But
SubTo.
yeah,
Thank
welcome
you.
to
Wow,
SubTo.
that's freaking cool.
Thank you.
We'll get you set up with the
Thank
MSA, all that good stuff.
Okay, this is really cool because next week we have the bird dogging challenge that's live in this room and we're like physically doing all of the stuff that we're going to talk about. This is actually perfect timing because I'm about to talk about what the bird dog does every single day. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. When is this? In 2 weeks or next week?
It's next week, August 18th.
Okay.
18th to the
So
21st.
next week, I don't want you taking time off Uber though, if this is going to be a problem.
No, I'm gonna be here.
Can you drive Uber in the morning and then come here in the afternoon?
Or at night, or yeah.
Okay, you'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
Okay, because we're doing the bird dog challenge here live for a whole entire week.
Okay.
Do you think you can make that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You got
Dude,
it.
whoever that student is, let's give it up for them. That's freaking amazing. Alicia Dick, she says, joining SubTo is the single best investment I personally ever made too. The people are amazing. The training is invaluable in the journey. Couldn't ask for a better road. That's freaking awesome. How many people are also coming to our office next week in person? Give me a me in the side chat or me in the YouTube. Larry Crowell says, how do I find buyers? Now, here's the tough thing about everything I was going to teach you. You are basically being given the cheat code. Because where do you find buyers? In the SubTo community. Where do you find suppliers? In the SubTo community. You're basically just piecing people together. Like, Kyle, have you bought deals from people inside the SubTo community? Have you sold deals to people in the SubTo community? Okay, so you have the cheat code. So I'm going to train you as if you don't have the cheat code because you were just given the cheat code. Okay, I'm going to give everybody else the answer. Like Larry Crowell says, where do I find buyers? We'll cover that in a second. Natasha Maxwell says, how do I attend in person? I don't know. You have to be in SubTo, number 1, which is the ticket somebody just gave you. And then number 2, I think you have to have talked to somebody. Natasha Maxwell says, just email support@subto.com. If you want to be in person, email support@subto.com. Mundo, good to see you, brother. Love you, man. I just hung out with him. Okay, cool. This looks like a nice big spider web, but it's kind of nice to watch it done in person live. You can see exactly how this is done. Do we understand how 2 bird dogs got paid on the same transaction?
Yeah.
Do you know how many deals I've done with Matt, by the way?
How many?
I've probably done 50 deals with Matt. Isn't it funny that Matt brought the deal to Kelly, Kelly brought the deal to me. I then closed the deal, saw Matt on the transaction, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. They both got paid, okay? Do I get bothered when people make money on a deal? Yes or no?
No.
No. Are there people that will get bothered?
Yes.
They ain't gonna be in the SubTo community, because if that's the attitude, we're kicking you out. What's up, John?
Did you close it, like, you double close it?
I did not double close.
It was like 140K.
I don't know, because I'm the buyer. I don't care if the seller sees, right? I'm sure Doug is like, crap, I made 50 grand, then somebody else made money, and then somebody else made money. But you got 3 SubTo members in here. We all, as you already know, we all want people to make money. I mean, hell, dude, you're an immigrant, and you're doing deals with another immigrant, Darina. Like, you're from Kazakhstan. Darina's from Ukraine. You guys are doing JV deals together, making money together. Nobody's counting each other's money. Right? So we're kind of lucky that we have that type of community. But are there people like Doug that go, I got to close this and then sell it to Matt so he doesn't see how much I make? Yes, that definitely is a thing. I don't do a lot of double closes inside when I'm doing deals with students because I don't think anybody really cares how much we make. But when you're outside of the community, is that a real thing? Yes, different topic, different day. You handsome son of a gun. Okay. So let's talk about what are the daily activities of a bird dog. And Dajé, who is a active bird dogger, I'm going to tell you the first thing that you will do wrong as a bird dogger. You will say, this is too simple, and you will get bored with it, even after you get your first deal. Am I right, Dajé? He's right. She got her first deal, and then she goes, I'm going to reinvent the wheel, and I'm going to start doing other things, and then she went back to bird dogging. I called her out for it, though. Like a good friend, I also only know that because I've done that stuff too. It's such a simple strategy, and it works, and it's so common that you will get either bored with it or you will try and overcomplicate it. Have you tried to overcomplicate this? A couple times, okay. Dude, Ellie, that's freaking awesome. Somebody just got you into SubTo.
So happy.
That's sick. Yes? Grab a mic real fast so the people, Dajé or somebody else that has a mic.
Hello, hello.
Did you guys know we have a real live Ghostbuster in the house? Thanks, Trevon.
So if your SubTo buyer helps you actually write up the contract, your assignment contract,
Yeah.
from your Matt, your
Yeah.
wholesaler, once we have it written up, then we're sending it to them to e-sign, correct?
Uh-huh.
And so we can use any like DocuSign, whatever.
Yeah.
But if our buyer's too busy and they are still SubTo, we still have to figure that out on our own. Correct?
Yeah, or just get a TC involved or something. Email my team. We'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what? By the way, that's a what if question. And I love what if questions, but I want to just highlight to you guys the number one killer of activity is the what if questions. What if this happens? What if that happens? Ask them. Do all the things. The answer all the time is somebody in the SubTo community will help you. Worst case scenario, email molly@pacemorby.com or jade@pacemorby.com and go, I need help with X transaction wise. Do you guys know my relationship with New Reach, how that works? Okay, so when you guys join SubTo, do I make that money or does a company called New Reach make that money? I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be a mentor. I want to be a collaborator and do deals with you. But I also don't want to collaborate and do deals with people that can't even like put gas in their car because I want to go build an empire. I did that for years. That's what my YouTube channel is for. That's what my free Facebook group is for. That's what my book is for. That's what all the free things are for, all the free things I do. But when I'm going and building stuff, I want to make sure that people are filtered and believe in themselves. Because here's the thing. Do we have mindset challenges, all of us? Of course. But if I'm sitting there dealing with self-belief all the time instead of just going, dude, send the contract. It's just like, dude, I'll do the self-belief conversation with the free Facebook group people. I want to spend my time inside of SubTo actually doing deals. So Molly and Jade are not anything to do with the community other than they help me do deals with people in the community. Okay, so Molly and Jade will help you out. Don't email them questions about how to log into SubTo. Right, very different. Like transactionally email them, but on like, hey, I don't know how to access this video in the vault. That would be a different team. That would be Sarabi and the team, not Sarabi. Support. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you. Okay, so we're going to jump into activities. Any questions about what we've covered before I jump into the next step? Is it so simple that everybody's like, wow, this is too easy. I don't even have to have questions? Or is it like, Pace, you've been talking about this for the last 3 months. I think we've got it. You're like, everybody wants to witness me retire the bird dog topic. Is the bird dog strategy going to go away when I stop talking about it?
No.
Will people that are new not even know it exists because I stopped talking about it? Sadly, yes. And so I hope you guys in the community, when somebody goes, I haven't done my first deal yet, go watch the bird dog training and let's do deals together. That's what I'm hoping will happen. Okay. I was going to cover next steps. Okay. I'm so ahead of schedule. I'm actually 16 minutes behind. Shit, Saravi's being nice. Okay, so let's do this. First step, I'm a bird dog. I decide I want to be a bird dog. What is my first step? Number one, always the first step. You guys ready for action steps? Where are my engineers that just don't pay attention until there's steps and spreadsheets involved? Where are you at? Okay, perfect. Tell me my steps. Cool. No problem. I got you. Okay, number one, don't skip this one. You will. Start with a buyer. Do not do a bird dog deal. Do not attempt to do bird dogging until you have a buyer. Yes, go ahead. Do you have a question? Or are you just shaking your hand?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was nothing.
I thought you were getting ready to flip me
No,
off,
I was
actually.
just-
I'm just kidding. Okay, so start with a buyer. Here's why this is so important. Dajay, if you're sending me opportunities and my team is saying, no, Dajay, but here's the price we would pay, are you learning as you are getting close to a deal?
Yeah.
You're learning like, okay, that's too high. You might not know everything. In fact, some things might go over your head, but at least you're investing your time into one buyer. What I see a lot of bird dogs do is they're dating too many different people. Okay. I will advise my son when my son is looking to get married at some point. I'm not going to tell my son to be going on dates with 10 different women in a week. Why? Because he didn't have any time to invest with that person and actually get to know them at all. Right? Go on a couple of dates with somebody before you know they're not right. I mean, sometimes you know in 14 seconds, but just like if, let's say your buyer says, nope, I'm not going to help you out with the paperwork and you need to comp the deal before me. You immediately know on the first date that's not your buyer, correct? Okay. So should I go and date 5 buyers right now? Or let's say I'm Asher, my son. Should I go date 5 women simultaneously? No, I think it's a really bad idea. Can it be done? And does it make you a bad person? No, it's just really hard to go deep in that person's personality and understand them. And you're not really getting anywhere, right? Too many people to focus on. And you have found probably by this point that a lot of, even though Kyle and I have some overlap of what we're willing to do, Kyle will buy cash flips in Phoenix, Arizona. Kyle will buy co-living deals in Phoenix, Arizona. Kyle will lend on deals. Hey, him and I have some overlap. We also have some differences between our two businesses. The way we communicate, the way we reply, right? The way we eat steak, like everything's a little bit different. Sorry.
We started adding the buy, matching the buy boxes to the person.
Perfect.
So have your buy box.
Give this lady a microphone. She's got a lot of good feedback.
Have your
your buy box in my apartment. Not on no creepy stuff, but
Okay, love
I
it.
have your buy box, and then I have the other buyers' buy boxes, so I can basically see it in front of me. Like, okay, Pace likes this, such and such likes this.
Love it.
So-
Okay, start with a buyer. Rule number 2, step number 2 is only one buyer. Until you get your first deal. Okay? Until you get your first deal. Nothing is more frustrating to me than when somebody says, I haven't done my first deal yet. I go, I think you said that wrong. I think what you meant to say was, I haven't done the work to deserve a deal. I think that's what you were trying to say. Well, no. I'm out there. I got 17 buyers I'm sending stuff to. I'm like, okay, let me sit down. Let's look at your phone. I look at their phone. It's crazy mess. They use the word that newbies love to use, which is overwhelmed, which is also another word for disorganized. Okay, I'm overwhelmed. No, you broke the rules. You didn't want to be patient. You didn't want to wait for your buyer. Well, my buyer hasn't replied back to me. Well, your buyer's dealing with a contractor right now. He might be in the city. And you guys ever gone into a government building and not have service? Okay, maybe give them that. Right? We get people that email my team on, okay, no exaggeration. I will get an email at 7 o'clock in the morning, Monday morning, complaining that my team did not reply on Sunday. Yeah, and what do? There's one button on the right-hand side of the, I have no time for that, like lack of resourcefulness. Okay, start with a buyer, only one buyer. Step number 3. Call and understand their buy box. Now, here's the beautiful thing if you are in SubTo. Do I have a lack of buyers or suppliers in SubTo? You could literally build a multi-million-dollar business in any market just by being inside the SubTo community. So if you are not in SubTo, which I imagine there's a bunch of people in this room that are not inside of SubTo, because I opened this up to everybody today, there's going to be people who go, oh, wait, where do we find the buyer? I will cover that in a minute. Let's just go through the steps, okay? Call and understand their buy box. If I'm in SubTo, the first thing I would do is I would go to the Owners Club list. Where do I get the Owners Club list? Go to subtocourse.com, go into the resources, click on the thing. It'll pull you 550 members in Owners Club that are higher trained. They're business partners with me on multiple businesses, and they will have their buy box and exactly what they're buying. And some of them even have videos saying, hey, if you're a bird dog, I'm buying deals. Like they are desperately asking you to buy deals. If you watched the training last week, Daniel Hasibi, okay, Owners Club member, awesome guy. By the way, ladies, he is not single. I've been asking him. Please let me know when that changes. I got a lot of ladies lined up for you. One of them might be my sister. But Daniel Hasibi bought 4 deals in the last couple of weeks just from bird dogs inside the community because I highlighted him and everybody started bringing him deals. Homeboys in Canada, buying deals in other parts of the United States. We have a very diverse community, plus 29 countries. We have Owners Club members in Israel buying deals in the United States. So there is no lack of buyers inside of SubTo. I will cover where do I find buyers in a different portion. Just give me a couple of minutes. I don't know that you realize how big of a cheat code you were just given.
I think I do.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you're going to call and understand their buy box. Now, I make it easy for my bird dogs. I have a website called pacesbuybox.com. My team updates it every 30 days. Most of the members in Owners Club also update their buy box. If you are not in SubTo, I will not do a deal with you. Hopefully that rhymes. I'll lend money to you. I'll sell deals to you, but I'm not going to buy a deal from you unless you're in SubTo. So you can go to pacesbuybox.com if you're in SubTo, and you can bring a deal to my team just like Dajé did. But you know what the unfortunate thing about me is? I'm not buying a deal a day. I buy 20 to 30 flips a year. That's it, which means I'm buying 2 flips a month, which means I turn my buying box off all the time. Now, do I buy outside of single family houses? Yes, I buy RV parks. right? I'm buying land, I buy businesses. Those are separate buy boxes, but let's talk about that buy box for just a second. If I want to get a check in the next 30 days, should I be bird dogging for people that are buying multifamily deals? Why not? I just paid somebody 90 grand in SubTo for bringing me an RV park. There you go. Yours on. This took them 6 months before we closed escrow. I had to travel out to the property. My team had to underwrite it. I raised money for the deal. This took a little bit of time. So if you are looking for, and by the way, these will fall out from time to time. I have a deal right now that's in escrow with Brandon, and he brought me a deal in Kermit, Texas. It's an RV park that he brought to the table, and I'm not paying him a fee. I'm letting him wedge into the deal with me, meaning I'm giving him 20% ownership for bringing this RV park to me. Well, what's the problem with that? The problem is we opened escrow, meaning we started the transaction, and the lot that we are buying, okay, we're buying this for $2.1 million on seller finance. And the only reason why we bought this is because there's 2 acres right here that are supposed to come with the purchase of the RV park. We start the transaction. Turns out the owner does not own that 2 acres. Welcome to real estate. And the bigger and the weirder the deals are, mobile home parks, RV parks, businesses are the worst by far. By far. You guys want to go buy a business? You better have a freaking doctorate. Okay? Unless it's a car wash with no employees. Because the second you get employees involved, you got sexual harassment claims, you got all sorts of weird things that might be in the closet, their height. Like, there's so many challenges with buying a business that it's impossible to even describe that in the short time that we have today. So should I be bird dogging for big assets if I want to get a deal in the next 30 days? No. By the way, this deal has not closed, but we're still working it. We found out he does own the property. It's just that the county has never updated it 40 years ago. Counties are really smart with technology, right? We're going to fix this in 2 days. We have to sue the county. We have to force all sorts of things, and it's still worth the time. Now for us, he's getting 20% ownership in this. So our net on this is $26,000 a month. That's our net in cash flow. He will get $5,200 a month for the rest of his life for bringing that deal to me. Think it's worth that time for him?
Absolutely.
Well, guess what? He doesn't need a paycheck tomorrow. So is he overstressed out going, oh, yep, cool. He opened escrow on this last October. We're coming up pretty close to a year, right? So what he does, he goes, all right, I'll go work on other deals while that's in escrow. If you don't have the time to do that, should you be focusing on mobile home parks, RV parks, buying businesses, et cetera? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Why do we like single family? Because there's a lot of transactions. RV parks, guys, how many RV parks are there in the country? 17,000. There are 17,000 single family homes in one zip code in Phoenix, Arizona. I have more transactions available to me in one zip code in Phoenix, Arizona than an entire nation of RV parks. Okay, car washes. How many car washes are in the United States? I just made a post about this in SubTo. 60,000. Okay. There's like 1.2 million households in Phoenix, Arizona. Do you see how many car wash opportunities there are? Very few. They take longer. They're less frequent. So should I go after buyers that are doing big multifamilies? Okay, great job. No, also start spelling the word not yet, right? Okay. Nope, not yet. Will there get a point where you can be Brandon and look for an RV park for me and I'll buy the deal? Dajay, mark my words. I don't know when it is. This is the beautiful thing about SubTo.
We doing an RV park.
You and I are?
Yeah.
Right now?
No.
Oh, shit.
But it's going to happen.
Okay, cool, yeah.
I'm speaking into it. Not right now, but it's going to happen.
I wouldn't know until somebody told me, so. Okay, cool. And by the way, were you and I involved with each other at all in that transaction on whatever that house was? Like, were we talking about it? My team handled it, did the thing. You got paid. You and I never talked one time. Is there going to be a point where you and I are going to own an RV park together and I will not find out until I own it?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Love it. You're going to hand the keys over to the RV park. Okay. When you go after a buyer, please understand that when you're selecting a buyer, you should go after somebody in the beginning that has a single family focus because there's way more transactions. Pace, I haven't done a deal yet and I've been bird dogging for this guy. What does he do? Oh, he buys businesses. Cool. How many businesses does he buy? One every 3 years. Is that somebody I should be bird dogging for? Okay, so when people go, Pace, give me a game plan, I'm giving you the game plan right now, things to stay away from, okay? Now, once you get a couple of bird dog deals under your belt, I would expand into jumping into another buyer that is doing the thing that you want to do. Where are my engineers? What do you want to do, engineer? Probably multifamily. You can't resist it. There's something in your DNA. Engineers, what's that? Doing co-living. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, you guys have co-living stuff here. Okay, so if I were bird dogging, I would be bird dogging for people that are also doing co-living. Why? Because they'll buy co-living deals from you, and then when they have a surplus, they'll bring deals back to you. Kyle Kargas would be probably a good person to collaborate with if you don't know Kyle Kargas. Just don't take him for steak dinner, okay? Okay, number 4. Call and understand their buy box. Number 4 is get an agreement. Now, does that agreement need to be papered? This is one of those don't turn right on red situations. I will never sign a contract with a bird dog. I personally won't. I think I've done a good enough job in my reputation to just go, I will take care of you. And I have too big of a brand in real estate that if I screw you over $5,000, you could make a post in it and legitimize it. I would never do that. And I would not take my time and my energy to gobble up my team's time on signing paperwork for everybody that's sending us opportunities. However, I should have something in writing via email, text message, or something that I can reference. Make sense? Hey, so thank you for the phone call. I just want to summarize what we talked about. I bring you a deal. It looks like this. Just have an understanding. I get paid at escrow. You're going to handle the paperwork. I don't have to comp anything. I get 24 hours. You'll typically give me a response. Get the expectations laid out. Okay? Awesome. Now, number 5. Do not go to number 5 until you've done number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pace, give me steps. I will give you steps. Don't break them because you'll come to me on a SubTo family night and you'll raise your hand. You go, so Pace, I'm on step number 7. And I go, great. What does your buyer say? Oh, I haven't gotten a buyer yet. Okay. Number 5, find suppliers. I would say that you have more than enough when you have 10 suppliers in the very beginning. Okay. I would say for every 10 suppliers you have in the very beginning, that should be able to get you 1 to 2 bird dog deals a month. Okay. Now, I'm not going to make this a step today, but this is a step you will have to do in 30, 60, 90 days is you should audit your suppliers. Every 30, 60, 90 days. Dache, do you have people that send you deals and then 3 weeks go by and you don't hear from them at all?
Yeah, the first person I did one with.
There you go. So there will come a time where you go, Pace said that I should have 10 suppliers sending me deals in order for me to be doing 1 deal a month. If 2 of those suppliers are not sending you enough properties, which should be at least 3 a week, okay, you should see 30 properties a week in order to do probably 2 deals a month, something like that. If half of them are not sending you anything, then do you have 10 suppliers or do you have 5? You have 5. Just because you have their name and their number doesn't mean they're actually good suppliers for you, right? Sounds like I'm selling drugs right now. Okay. I just gave you the number, engineers, expectations, engineers. Sorry, I got to beat the engineers up a little bit. You guys keep me honest, which is nice. I appreciate you. Okay, your supplier should be sending you 3 houses a week. In order to stay on your roster as a legitimate supplier. Does that make sense? No. I don't. I would just once a week, you'll get, after you get a couple of deals, you'll spend some money on a CRM, like $100 a month. And your CRM can set up an automation to text them once every 2 weeks and just go, hey, I'm sitting down to look at deals today. Do you have anything for me? And whether they send you anything or reply to you at all. Like I've got a guy named Ernest. He's in SubTo. He sends me 2 or 3 deals every day. And what I like about Ernest is I'll go 5 or 6 days without even looking at my phone. And he will still send me stuff because he understands that a good buyer is going to be a busy person. Now, what I don't like about Ernest is I have told him, please send these to my team, and he still sends them to me. But what I think is psychologically going on is he sends them to my team, and then he's also sending them to me just in case he thinks that I'm going to call my team and go, hey, just so you know, Ernest is sending me stuff. He's smart. He's being persistent, right? And I appreciate that. Cool. So find suppliers. Now, let's talk about where to find buyers for a minute. You're going to get to do this in person. This is freaking awesome, Ellie. Okay, where do I find buyers? If you want to spend money, which most wholesalers don't, I could just go to dealsauce.io. Can we get a laptop real fast? This is going to, can I throw a loop? So Robbie's like, F you, dude. I'd like to show you guys how fast I can find buyers. And it'll take about 30 seconds. Can you log into my account on DealSauce? Or do you have an account on DealSauce we can log into? Well, that's my account, Trevon. You see what he did there? I just gave him my account yesterday. He's like, I got an account. And you know what? You do. You do have an account. Adler, if I need to come over there and you go HDMI from the laptop to the ATEM in order to feed it in there, you want to do it that way? Dude. All right. I should be throwing these like audibles more often if you guys can handle them this easily. Okay, we'll show you how to find buyers. So let's go through a couple of things. Where do I find a buyer? This is I don't like this answer, but this is an answer. Is I can find buyers in Facebook groups. Why do I not like that answer? It's free, and they're also a lot of liars. They say they're a buyer, but they're really not. Okay, and they're just wholesaling your deal. If I'm Dajé, okay, Yurzan, come up here real fast. Dajé, I need you up here too. Okay. I'm the wholesaler, right? I got a deal under contract. Here's my contract. Actually, this is wet. You don't want this. So I'm a wholesaler. I just met with a seller. I've got a contract in hand. Seller's going to sell this house to me for $200,000. Yurzan reaches out to me and he says, hey, Pace, I'm a buyer and I'd love to buy your next deal. And I go, Yurzan, here's the contract. Let's do the deal. Cool. Yurzan then turns around and goes to Dajé and he wholesales my contract to Dajé. What do we call this type of transaction? We call this daisy chaining. Daisy chaining means that you lied to me.
You gotta disclose it.
Why do we like Yurzan telling me the truth? Because this as a wholesaler, this was my biggest pet peeve. I'm spending money to go in the living room of sometimes an elderly woman. It's her last asset. She's getting ready to move out of the house that she's been a hoarder in for 20 years. And I make promises on timeline and money getting into her pocket at a specific time. This lady goes out and makes decisions to go buy a house or get into an apartment or do whatever based on the promise I made to her in my contract, correct? So I assign the deal to Yerzan thinking he's got it taken care of and he's going to close the deal. The money's going to go to title. This lady's going to be taken care of. He goes and wholesales it to somebody else. He's late on closing escrow. Title company can't get a hold of them. By the way, this happens all the time. I call Yerzan. I go, hey, Yerzan, I love you, bro. What's going on? Like, the title company is not. And then his answer is like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm busy. I'm at Costco. Bad service. And what does he do is he tries to buy time. Then what he does is he calls Daje, yo, dude, what are you doing to me, man? Like, what's happening? And now we got a middleman situation. And I have a real live person. I bought their house. Does everybody understand why we hate, not Daje. We hate daisy chaining. Daisy chaining. Do you guys understand why we hate daisy chaining? Guess what you're going to find in free Facebook groups? A lot of daisy chainers that say, I'm a buyer when they are actually not a buyer. And now I'm going to be in a situation where I'm like, dude, I thought you were a buyer. Well, and they make some crap up and they say something like, well, at the last minute, I decided I wanted to honor your price that I told you, but I got too busy in my construction, so I assigned it to another buyer. Dude, you told me you are closing on this deal. It is a big deal in this industry to honor that word because the person that was in the living room of the seller needs to be able to communicate with title. These people are in real life situations. Okay? I'll give you guys a good story in a second. So give me you got my freaking Amex? Give me this. She's not letting it go. Okay. So I go to the seller. I get the contract. Yerzan says, Pace, I have a buyer. Do you mind if I sell your contract to somebody else? I go, no, go find a buyer. He then goes and sells it to Daje. Daje is now late on closing escrow. I call Yerzan and I go, hey, can you please call your buyer and see what the heck is going on? Do you see the difference in what's going on here? I know he needs to call somebody and he doesn't need to dodge my freaking call. Don't we hate that when we know somebody is like dodging our call? Right, Daje?
Yes.
Okay. We just like the simplicity of knowing what the heck is going on, and we hate when people lie to us. I don't care that you're making money. I hate that I have to now go to my seller and I have to lie to my seller to buy myself time because I can't get Yerzan to pick up the phone because Yerzan is daisy chaining and is embarrassed to tell me the truth. This is so common in free Facebook groups. You need to verify that they are actually legitimate buyers or else you're going to get yourself stuck in a bad situation. Okay? Give me my wallet back. You guys, give it up for these guys.
That's why it's better to use deal sauce.
Yes, there you go. Deal okay, you logged me in. Okay, cool. Let's do a little, is this my account? You don't know my password. Can we log out of yours?
Yeah, you can log out.
Yours sucks compared to mine.
Yeah, probably. Can we do another question?
Yeah, we can do another question while I pull it up.
Does every title company know how to do this? Because a lot of them don't work with investors that do some kind of closing like this or deals like this.
Yes, so great question. It is rare for a title company to not know how to do this. And if they don't, be grateful that you are not working with them. Because if they don't know how to do this, then they don't know how to do some of the most basic things in real estate. This is not special, guys. This happens all the time. Now, do we all agree? Who shops at Walmart and Target and Costco and Whole Foods? Okay, so she says no. You do all of them, right? I can tell. You're kind of bougie, I can tell. Me too. I also shop at all four. Yeah, well, sometimes. Sometimes I just want what I want. Does Walmart sell the same stuff Target does? There's a little overlap, right? But they got different brands. If I want Jiffy fat-free, by the way, the reduced fat Jif is 1,000 times better than the regular one. Guess where I can't find it? I can't find it at Walmart. It's only at Target. Is that weird to us in our normal daily lives? No, it's common because we run into it and it's in our daily lives. Title companies are exactly the same way. Some of them only focus on refinances. Some of them focus on retail business. A lot of them focus on only wholesale business, and a lot of them will do a lot of it all together. They'll do whatever business they can. When they're in like North Scottsdale, they're working on retail business. When they're in Buckeye, they're working primarily on like new home builds because that's where all the expansion's happening. Title companies, you will rarely run into that though. Why? Especially as a bird dog. Why will I rarely run? Who asked that question, by the way? Okay, why do you look like a real estate agent?
I'm not.
You're
You
not?
forgot me. Yeah, I'm not a real estate
You're missing.
agent.
Okay, so here's what will happen. If your wholesaler, oh, that's okay. If your wholesaler is bringing you a deal and they're texting it to you as a bird dog, they've already opened escrow. The title company already has the contract. They already understand what the heck is going on. You don't need to worry about the title company and the selection of the title company when you are the bird dog. Why? Because they already opened, the wholesaler who went to the living room got the contract. The wholesaler knows what they're doing and they know they're wholesaling. They chose only a title company that would allow them to do this transaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and some of them won't do double closing either.
Yeah. Are you calling these people and asking them what they do?
Well, I dealt with them before when I was dealing with the real estate. I mean, doing real estate full time, but
As an agent?
Not agents. I've never been agent. Yeah.
Okay, so if you are doing bird dogging, let me keep it on the topic of bird dogging. If you are doing bird dogging, the title company has already been selected, and 99.99999% of them, I can't say 100 because it's never 100%. 99.9% of them have already said, yes, we do wholesale transactions. Otherwise, that wholesaler would not have started that transaction with that title company. Make sense?
It makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Great question. All right, so let's pull this up.
Wait, I got a question.
Okay.
How do you verify that a person on Facebook is a real buyer?
If you are not in SubTo and you want to verify that they're in SubTo, which is what I would do, here's what's beautiful about our community is if you ever do something wrong in our community, what happens to you? We kicked you out. We kick you out. And anybody in SubTo want to get kicked out of SubTo? No. By far the greatest gift you've ever received is being in SubTo. Oh my gosh. So if you verify that somebody's in SubTo, they have social pressure that they would be outcast from the greatest real estate community to ever live. Email support@subto.com and say, hey, is this person in SubTo? Because if they ever do something wrong, I don't care if they're in the free Facebook group and they do something wrong, they're kicked out of our community. So that's one layer of filter. Okay. The other one is, if you want to verify, I would ask them, what LLC do you buy in? And then what you would do is go and, like for us, if I go to the county assessor's website and I type in their LLC, I can see all the properties that they bought or didn't buy. It's public record. Okay. So you could make your life really easy. Watch how simple this is. Let's pull this up, Adler. I could just go to Deal Sauce. Watch. It's one click. Get out of here. Don't show me this again. Okay, it's one click. It's 2 clicks. Let's see. What city should we do? Anybody from a different city than here? Fort Worth? Okay. That's too easy. Fort Worth, Texas. Okay. How many fix and flippers do you think are in Fort Worth, Texas? 4,231 freaking fix and flip buyers. Look at this lady. Kristana made $505 million on her 675 flips right here. You can see she's done 675 flips. She's made a total profit of $505 million. Do I need to verify her any further than that? Okay, so if whatever city you're in, if you had Deal Sauce, you can get Deal Sauce by going to what website? Sauce. GetSaucyDeals.com. That's what Sarabi says. GetSaucyDeals.com. There's like a 2-week thing, and I could download this whole list. And I could then text all of them and say, hey, I find deals in my local market. Do you mind if I find you something similar to what you've bought before? Cool. Do I really need to hammer home more than this? Do you guys see how easy this is to pull up a list of buyers? Yes. Yeah.
Probably told 40 to 50 buyers. 10 of them agreed for me to be their bird dog and agreed to the fee. And
Okay, so what she's saying is she says, I've reached out to 40 to 50 buyers off what Pace just told me. And she had 20% of them, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Probably half of them didn't even pick up the phone.
Yeah.
So let's be clear here. You guys got to understand this, because when people are explaining this, I understand how the newbie thinks. The newbie thinks that she talked to 50 people and 20 of them said yes. Or I'm sorry, 10 of them said yes. She talked to maybe 25 people and 10 of them said yes, right? So her success rate is 20% of her calls that went out. 50% of her calls probably picked up. And out of them, half of those people said, yeah, I'd love for you to send me stuff. And I'd love to pay you a fee, no problem. So what was the other, you're about to tell me what your barricade is and what you're running into.
Yeah, exactly. The hurdle is
Always a newbie mindset. I love it. It's so good.
The getting it. I figured, you know what? I need something tangible, saying like, you agree that I'm going to be your bird dog, and then you agree to my fee. So then we sent out a form, super short form. Hey, thank you for this for taking my call. I'm excited to work with you, just so that we can have your buy box in our file system. Just please answer these questions and agree to the fee. And nobody responded to that. So then we did a follow-up, 2 to 3 times follow-ups, and none of those did that.
Yeah,
So
I think most people that are credible buyers, if somebody, I'm going to tell you just me honestly, Kyle, you're going to like take the time to sign that? And you're like literally the nicest. Sometimes it's not even out of spite. It's like, oh yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you looked at my phone right now, you'd be like, holy crap, like throw this phone in the blender and just kill it. It's like, so there's part of that. The other part is, I would say that there's a portion of them that are like, really? Like you want to bring me business, you want me to pay you a fee, and you want me to sign all this documentation? Yeah. You are going to run into that for sure.
Yeah, we kept it pretty short. I think there's like 4 questions. The main thing we wanted is for them to say, yes, we'll pay you the fee. Yes, you can be our bird dog. That was really the main thing.
I would get rid of all of that and just do a text. Just go, hey, can you, thank you for the phone call. Looking forward to it. Just want to summarize the conversation. Let me know if it's a good to go, and have them text you yes back. That's it. Get rid of the friction.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about like everything in our lives. Don't we all hate friction? Yeah. Like it's the silly, human beings are so funny. Like, I think I said this out loud on a training the other day. My son and his friends were hanging out in the living room, and they had girls coming over. And they're at the appropriate age, right? They're at 17. And so one of the friends, I could hear them, goes, hey, dude, we should light a candle. By the way, young men out there, that doesn't work. Like how many girls are like, dude, they call their friends afterwards, like, you wouldn't believe it. They lit a candle for me. I mean, it's cute, but so we should light a candle. The girls are coming over. And so the candle's right there in front of them, right? The knowledge of bird dogging is right there in front of them. And so one of his buddies like, okay, cool. Where's the lighter? And my son goes, it's upstairs in my parents' room. And he goes, all right, never mind. Welcome to being a human being. If there's this much friction, they won't do it, right? So eliminate the friction, make their life easy, right? And it's tough because you want to make sure you protect yourself. But the good thing is if you're verifying these buyers, which you did a great job at, you verified these buyers already are legitimately doing the deals. Like they're on public record. And if they say, yes, I'd love to, then I would just summarize it via text message and go, great conversation. Thank you so much. Just want to double check that we're in agreement. I can send you stuff and I get paid. I'm looking for this. Just let me just reply back with a yes or even an emoji, right? And I'll start sending you stuff. I would keep it simple. More friction, less action, sadly. Just how it is. Get the lighter as close to that candle as humanly possible. Okay, so pretty simple, right? Like I can go through and you name a city and I can pull them up. Sarabi, name a city. What's the city you have in America you have not been to yet, but you would like to go? Houston has the best Indian food on the planet. The best New York deli I've been to ever. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay, so we're going to Houston. That's what you're saying. That's all right. I also get a lot of people like, you probably don't have Texas information because Texas is a private state. Okay, so 8,860 buyers. Guess who also pops up at the very top? Kristana. Same lady. Well, it's not a lady. It's a whole big, massive organization. They're here locally. So I can just go to the next page. Let's say that these are like really big, massive buyers. I'm usually looking for a buyer that's doing like 15 to 20 deals a year because they're going to be super friendly. They're not going to have a massive organization, right? So like Tejas Seller Finance, that's one of our students. Okay, right around here, like Fargo Enterprise and below, like under 20 flips a year is going to be kind of the sweet spot. The owner's still going to pick up the phone. You're not going to get a Google number. You're not going to be pushed to a website. If you're under 20 projects a year, right? And it took like 3 clicks to get that. Just get Deal Sauce. Stop being a knucklehead. Or you can go to the free Facebook group. Okay. All right. So do we understand where we can find buyers?
Yes.
Somebody's going to ask me in 5 minutes, where do I find buyers? Okay, finding suppliers. Now, here's the cool thing about you, Ellie. Guess where you get to find buyers? Inside the SubTo community that already have literally all of this training, right? Being a bird dog is like 5%, not even 5%, 1% of 1% of what you will learn inside of SubTo. But the beautiful thing is the buyers in our community are like, oh yeah, I love bird dogs. I'd love to do deals with you and bird dogs. And they will probably reply back to you and say, I'd love to sign the paperwork if you need to, or just via text message. So you kind of have the cheat code if you're in SubTo. Okay. Same thing with suppliers. Okay. Should we find some suppliers? Okay. Let's find some suppliers. What city? Give me a city. Atlanta, Georgia, one of my favorite cities. There you go. There's all your suppliers right here. They're called cash buyers, and they're lying. Why are they lying? They're lying because they're marketing to who? Homeowners.
Yes.
They are marketing to homeowners to say they're a cash buyer. They are not cash buyers. They are wholesalers.
Right.
But they need to get into that living room. Do you get into the living room by telling a seller, hey, I'm going to wholesale your house? No, you get into their living room by saying you're a cash buyer. So very simple way to find suppliers is just either A, be in SubTo, which you are, so congrats. You'll meet a bunch of them in the Bird Dog Challenge, which is great. Actually, you know what's cool is in the Bird Dog Challenge, you actually get paired up with a buyer that you will get to work with for like dedicated 30 days.
Love it. Thank you.
So like most of that is all gone for you, and then you get to go work, find suppliers as well. You can go into the SubTo Facebook group and just type in the city, and everybody that's supplying deals in that city will pop up in the Facebook group, and you just reach out to them. Your
Awesome.
life is made.
I love it.
At least your first 10, 15 steps. Okay. Now, could I continue to find more buyers or find more suppliers by reaching out and just Googling these people? How do I know they're legit suppliers?
Public records?
No.
What are buyers?
They're spending money on Google to get your attention. Do you think somebody that's not really a wholesaler is not spending? Do you think they're spending money on Google $3,000 to $5,000 a month to get your attention? I want to hang out with people that spend money, right? And all of these people that are here on this screen, all of these people are spending money on trying to get sellers' attention. Every one of them. Do I have a shortage of suppliers? Now, these are the ones that are spending the most money on Google, so they pop up. You go page after page after page. Here's what's really cool too. You can now go to ChatGPT This just happened with the newest model of ChatGPT. And you can say, hey, ChatGPT, I need you to find all the wholesalers of real estate in my Atlanta metro area, phone numbers, et cetera, and it will find every website ever indexed online that has ever talked about wholesaling real estate, and it will put it to you in order of relevance with their phone numbers. Cool? Welcome to the future. Cool. All right. By the way, guys, if you're in YouTube right now and you're paying attention to people's comments, not everybody knows how to do bird dogging, okay? Some people just have an opinion about bird dogging. Okay, Felipe has a great question right here. He says, Pace, we just joined the SubTo community this week. My wife and I live in Toronto. Awesome. We'll be there for our massive, does everybody know about my massive road trip with Jamil? Doing 125 cities in 122 days, I think. Toronto is on the list. Do you recommend us investing out to the trip to Arizona to attend the bird dogging challenge in September in person, or should we do it all online? You will be able to get deals online doing the challenge with us simultaneously, but you are always welcome here. Always happy to have SubTo members come to the office during our challenges, but I would not invest in the airfare and all of that kind of stuff if that's an issue for you, okay? All right. Now, I've got steps 1 through 5. I get suppliers, right? It's a lot easier to find suppliers than you probably think, and the suppliers will happily send you addresses. Is that correct, Dajay?
Yes.
You're not sitting there fighting them to send you stuff, right?
No.
Okay. I'm glad. I should pay you part-time to just be in some of the trainings. Yeah. Yes, sir.
I agree.
I walked in here within 3 minutes. Somebody walked up to me and offered a deal. That's how plentifully available suppliers are in the community.
Yeah, our community has tons of suppliers, which is awesome. The top real estate investors in the whole entire country are in SubTo. The #1 data provider, data center builder, #1 Amazon warehouse builder, #1 land wholesaler, #1 Airbnb owner. Like I could go on and on and on. We have hoteliers. We've got Michelin star restaurant. We have a student that joined SubTo, 2-star Michelin restaurant owner, met his wife in SubTo, got rid of his restaurant. Now he does a whole lending business. Okay.
Just so everybody's on board.
By the way, if you guys want to know when Jamil and I are going on the road trip, go to whereispace.com and you will see every city and the date that we will be there. Every city and every day that we will be there. Okay, go ahead.
Just so everybody's on board and everything's clear, can you just give an example of how your conversation with the supplier wholesaler would be?
Yes, so a script to I wonder if I should just have Dajay do this. This is pretty simple. Dajay, tell me if this is any wrong from what I've told you in the past. Hey, my name is Dajay and I have a buyer. I'd love to see your inventory and send it over to my buyer.
Pretty straightforward to me.
That's it. You're being honest.
Keep it simple.
You're being transparent. You're telling me exactly what you're doing and how you're getting paid. You're not trying to hide any of that kind of stuff. You don't tell a supplier, hey, I'm a buyer, because they'll find out real fast. They ask you one. And by the way, the fake it till you make it thing, I think does apply in certain industries, just not in real estate. You don't want to say I'm a buyer, because then they'll say something to you like, okay, who's your hard money lender? You go, oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that.
They'll start asking you a lot more advanced questions. So.
Yeah. You want to, Fabiola says, can you repeat that, please? It is interesting how newbies really love a script, even though that's like the most straightforward thing. Hi, my name is Dajay. I have a really great buyer I'd like to send your inventory to. Can you please send me your inventory? That's it. Okay. Guys, please don't listen to people that are telling you how to negotiate your fee. You ask your buyer, guys. You ask your buyer how they're going to pay you. There's no rhyme or reason why a buyer will do what they're doing unless you talk to the buyer. Every buyer is going to be different. I don't know how Kyle Kargas does his, and I don't think I would ever impose that on Kyle on how he would pay a fee, what he would pay, but I'll tell you what I do. Mine is really, really basic. But let's go to step 6, and then I'll go to that, because this is really all you need to know. Actually, I'll go to step 7 tonight, and we'll wrap up and do a little bit of Q&A. Okay, step 6 is you are copying and paste the inventory from your supplier to where your buyer wants it sent. Do you send your deals to my team via email and then text message other buyers? You don't text my team, but you email my team.
Yes.
But do you text other buyers? Everybody's a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
My team's organized. Do you guys have to choose which audio goes out? Is that what's going on, Adler? Man. Saravi, sell my Prius. We're getting Adler the right setup. So every buyer you communicate with communicates with a little bit differently, correct?
Correct.
And do you text them and go, but Pace said that I need to have your team receive an email.
No, you just go based off of that buyer, basically.
Okay.
I don't compare you to the next buyer because you're different from the next buyer.
Right. Young men that are paying attention, do you ask one girl on a date, she says, I want to go get spaghetti. You go get her spaghetti. By the way, no girl's ever said, I want spaghetti. But you get my point. You imagine as a girl, like, yeah, if you take me for spaghetti. Do you then go ask the next girl, hey, can I take you to spaghetti? Because that's what every girl I've ever asked on a date wants to go do. There definitely are some guys. Those are also some of the people in the YouTube comments currently right now. It's like every buyer is a little bit different. Okay, Kyle's going to handle his business different. He's also going to pay his fees different. He's also going to handle the way he communicates and the frequency in which he communicates a little bit different. Okay. The way that I do my fee is if I can hit my goal. Here's my goal for my team. My team has a goal of 10% net profit off the sales price. Okay, what does that mean? Pace, can you be more specific? Absolutely. Let's say, Dajay, you just did a deal with me. I have no idea what we sold it for. Do you know what I sold it for? I'm so not in the loop in my own business. But whatever. My girls sold the house. I think we sold it for like probably $750,000. I'm netting $55,000. That's my net. Did I hit my 10% target of the sales price? Sales price, I sold it to a family for $750,000. What is my team's target for net profit off that deal? So did my team hit our target?
No.
If we hit our target, my bird dog gets 10 grand. If I don't hit my target, my bird dog gets 5.
Close.
Go ahead.
I was close.
You were close, yeah. My team knew we weren't going to hit it, but now if we hit a 15% target, we will pay between 15 and 20K depending on the house and how fast we can get through it. But typically my bird dog fees are between 5 and 15 grand, depending on what my team's potential net profit is. Does this make sense? Are we going to go to other buyers and go, well, Pace does it this way? No, every buyer is going to be a little bit different. I don't know how Kyle does it. Kyle needs to tell you that when you go and talk to Kyle Kargas, okay? Christian Nation says, I love spaghetti. I mean, like, who doesn't? You know what I'm saying? The money still is paid out from title company, but the amount will fluctuate. It's based on the total. And it's based on your buyer. This is why I said start with one buyer. Only one buyer until you get your first deal. Do you understand this, newbies?
Yes.
Newbies will go and do the silliest things. They will go find 5 buyers, and then they spend all their time comparing the buyers to each other. Well, my other buyer does it this way. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. People show me their text messages, and I'm just like, holy crap. Like, how do people not have the common sense to not be texting buyers who they're trying to do business with and trying to, it's like going to Quiznos and being pissed off that they don't have oatmeal cookies like Subway sandwiches do. By the way, best cookie on the planet, oatmeal raisin cookie from Subway. Okay. All right, cool. I think that's all of my main stuff. By the way, copy and paste inventory to your buyer. Number 7 is receive feedback. Number 8, repeat. Now, here's where you will have some let me give you some expectations, and then I'll open up for Q&A for like 20 minutes. One of the things that I'm so glad I did for Maddie, our homeless lady, she's not going to be home. I don't know what I'm going to call her anymore.
Maddie?
Just Maddie? Okay. All right. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that. You're Phoenix. Yeah, rise from the ashes. I mean, I'm obviously somebody who's educating and trying to tell stories all the time. So it makes sense for me to say Maddie, the homeless lady. And she's so cool. I look at her and go, are you pissed off that I keep calling you that? She's like, that's what I am. Call me homeless. What are you talking about? She's really sweet about it. Okay. So the expectation I gave to Maddie was, you have done nothing wrong until you've sent me 250 houses. Don't even ask me a question. These are the steps. If you come to me on you've sent me 17 houses and you're like, something's wrong, I'll go, yeah, because you haven't started. What are you talking about, Pace? I sent you 17 houses. No, Maddie, you haven't started until you've sent me 250. That was the expectation I gave to Maddie. Okay. Person number 1, somebody who follows my buy box. You're typically going to find that I will buy 1 out of 30 houses you send me. Why? Why will I only buy 1 out of 30 instead of 1 out of 10? The reason being is because the price is too high. The wholesaler's trying to make too much money, and I can't make my money, so I will give you feedback on those other 29, and the wholesaler's not always going to reduce their price. Does that make sense? Cool. When you get really good, you're either really good or really lucky. I think you got lucky on me saying yes so fast. Not saying lucky that we did a deal, lucky that because you got, how many houses did you send me? 8? 6. She sent me 6 and she got paid. Okay, you're going to do like 1 out of 10 when either A, you're good and you started comping on your own, or B, you're lucky. This is not the expectation.
I like A.
Yeah.
I'm just that good.
But you know what? I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week. Give me luck. Okay, number 3, you're going to be the person that's really frustrated, and you're going to be 1 out of 100. Like Maddie was definitely on her way to 1 out of 100. You know what Maddie was doing wrong? She's doing a single family buy box for me in Maricopa County, which is right here, obviously. She's sending me multifamily properties in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, is this a deal? Maddie, what are you doing? Well, you said you like Atlanta. Is it in the buy box you're looking for? No, but it looks like a deal. Maddie, stop sending me stuff outside of our buy box. My team is going to just delete your emails. Don't brand yourself as somebody who does not pay attention. If you're a buyer and you're a busy buyer, do you want a bird dog just sending you stuff in cities that you don't want to buy in? Kyle, do you get a lot of people that send you stuff? You're just like, why are you sending me something in Ohio? So many. Why? Why do they do that? It makes no sense to me. They're action takers, so I guess maybe that's what's going on. But what I told Maddie is I said, Maddie, you're going to go to 1 out of 100 if you keep sending me stuff that doesn't fit my buy box. She got lucky, and she got her first out of, I think it was the 47th or the 49th deal she sent me. My team went back and looked at the stuff. Do you have a question? Okay. People are afraid to move their hands in this room because I'm like. Okay, here's what happened with Maddie. This is interesting. Her phone is an Obama phone. Obama is a badass, and he made sure that Americans had access to communication. Everybody got phones, even if you were on the streets, okay? She has an Obama phone from like 2014 or something crazy. It's a total outdated phone, completely cracked. We said yes to her 30th deal. We said, yes, let's lock up the deal. By the time she got the cell phone the text message 3 days later, and she was able to text the wholesaler, it was already sold. That happened on her 30th and her 35th deal. She already had a couple of yeses, but her technology was so bad. It was either the 47th or the 49th deal. Here's what's interesting. I had Heidi pull a report. We looked at all the emails that Maddie was sending over to the team. Over 20 of her deals were not even in Arizona. So really, if you take the Arizona deals out, she only had 29 houses that she sent over before she got her first deal. So I would be keeping track of this. If I'm a bird dog and I'm an engineer, I would be keeping track and I would look at my KPIs going, well, I haven't done a deal this week. Okay, great. Did you send 30 addresses to people? Well, no. Okay, if you didn't send 30 addresses, then you don't deserve a deal. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get to a point where you will find your best buyers, you will find your best suppliers, and these numbers will get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. In fact, I have a bird dog that when they send me a deal, they know I'm a buyer.
They what?
They know I'm a buyer. Like, this is a deal for you. I know exactly. A good example. Ernest, who's a newer student, I go, bro, stop sending me stuff in an HOA. What does he do the next day? He's like, well, you never know when the exception's going to happen. I'm like, bro. In fact, the last voice memo I sent him is like the 20th time I've given him this feedback. Let's see if we can get Ernest's voice memo. Hopefully I didn't cuss in it. By the way, I haven't looked at he just copies and pastes addresses to me. I have not replied to him in 4 days.
All right, so I just bought a deal from one of my SubTo members, got a $22,500 assignment fee on bringing me a SubTo deal. 2,000 square foot, cul-de-sac. I could turn into a 10-bed co-living, which was awesome. And it was not an HOA. So no HOA, single family if possible. I'm going to be all in like 140 grand on this house. So like, I don't mind putting money in the houses. Like your entry fees are not my problem. It's HOAs or not big enough square footage.
Okay. By the way, do you know how many times I've given him this exact feedback? 4 times. And I've given him polite conversations all for it. Hey, I don't mind the entry fee and I don't mind this, but you keep sending me stuff that's a 1,200 square foot house when I'm trying to buy a 9-bedroom co-living. How are 9 humans going to live in 1,200 square feet? So then he goes, no problem. I have not. He literally says, appreciate you very much. We're definitely going to do a deal with this information. The next deal is an HOA. The deal after that is an HOA.
Like the list, maybe.
Totally. I'm okay with that. You can see I'm being patient with him. But all I'm trying to do is set expectations for bird dogs when they're like, well, I don't know why I haven't done a deal. Well, maybe because you're not paying attention to minor details. The deal he sent me today at 12:05, I told him 3 months ago, don't ever send me a SubTo deal over 5% interest. Okay. What's the interest rate on this? So like right around here, what's the interest rate?
7.48.
Okay. So are we surprised that he's not landing deals with me? No, we're not surprised. So make sure you have your expectations set that if you are sending them outside of the buy box and you're not paying attention, start with one buyer, only one buyer. Focus on making sure you get that buyer his buy box. Don't send them stuff in Kentucky. Not joking. I got an email the other day, a Kentucky horse farm. Pace is an incredible, Pace, imagine the YouTube video you could do And that's the whole thing. It's like they use ChatGPT to like give me a whole script for my YouTube video. Pace bought a sub-2 horse farm. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to spend $1 million to make a freaking YouTube video that 12,000 people will see. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So any questions before we wrap up? Has this been helpful?
Yes, very.
Now it's so simple. It's so simple that you will break all of these rules. Probably not.
Probably not.
This is the hardest part, keeping going and documenting this. Have I sent my buyer enough addresses? Is if you say, I haven't done a deal yet, why haven't I done a deal? I'm going to then ask you, how many houses have you sent your buyer? And if you don't have an answer there, then we got a problem. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I could send him stuff every day. Okay, how many days has it been? Well, I send him one address every day for the last 20 days. Okay, well, are we within our target of like kind of where it is? The most I've ever seen somebody send addresses to a buyer that's a legitimate buyer that's actually buying, the most I've ever seen was Maddie. I've never seen anybody more than Maddie. 47 houses. Like when we were in the 40s, I was like, dang, she's going to go to 250. She was cranking 4, 5, 6 addresses a day sometimes. She was cranking. But it might have been 47 or 49, I can't remember. That's the highest I've ever seen on my company. Okay? Any questions? Yes, get a mic over here, please. Is this your question or your daughter's question? Okay.
Okay, just a quick question. So when you're just getting started finding your buyer, what kind of expectation should we have as to the time frame for them responding back when you're sending the deals? I know you said sometimes you have to be realistic and patient, that they might be busy, but what kind of time frame is realistic? And then for that feedback as well, after sending about 10 homes, and then you want to know, like, how did I do on these 10, or like just trying to figure out the time frame.
Okay, so this is such a great question, and this is going to pop up about almost every other question you're going to have going forward is going to be determined by your buyer and your conversation, right? So right here, call and understand their buy box. I also said, make sure you have an expectation of their feedback, how they do their feedback, etc. I only check my email one time a day. And I check my email at 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe 5. Like it's between 3 and 5 in the morning. My phone looks like this most of the day. It's away from me. My phone is down. I'm not looking at my phone throughout the day. If you text me, very rarely will I text you back until the following day. That's me, right? There's only one person I reply to throughout the day. Who is it? My wife. The rest of the people I'm communicating with, I'm in a meeting with, and you were on my calendar before I set that. And then the rest of my team knows where Pace is. Everybody has access to. Do you call me in the middle of my meetings? No. Melissa, do you call me in the middle of my meetings? My whole team knows, here's Pace's calendar, here's what he's doing. So that's my communication style. My team, Monday through Friday, will give you a reply within 24 hours. Okay, that's my team. There are other people that are buyers. Remember what they do on a daily basis. They're in permits, they're doing this, they're doing that. I would say somebody that's doing buying as like a full-time thing, they're fixing and flipping, and they're a one-man operation, I would give them 48 hours. But the right answer to give you is ask your buyer. Okay? What is the upfront conversation you have? Hey, just so I don't stress out, I want to give my suppliers a good expectation of when my buyer is going to give a good reply. What do you think is a reasonable time frame for me to tell the suppliers that you'll be able to reply so that they don't sell the deal too fast out from underneath us? That's probably the right script to say. And they go, oh, I'm 12 hours. Not true. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have those days where you're like, you're super busy, your kids are doing a thing, and 2 days stack up where you don't reply to a deal, I'm sure, right? Happens to me and my team too. They get backed up on whatever. I would say 48 hours is reasonable. Here's the downfall to being a bird dog. You are subject to the speed of your buyer. If your buyer is repeatedly going past 48 hours, you need a new buyer. Okay? And don't say that to them. Don't be like, hey, you suck, right? Just find another buyer and stop sending deals over to that one and test a new one. Make sense? Good question. Oh, okay. Here's a really good one. Do you have the link for the Find Your Rhythm event? Roberto, can you please put the Find Your Rhythm? Guys, I'm going to Washington, D.C. this week. For those of you guys that want to hang out in Washington, D.C., I know it's nobody in this room, but I'll be in Washington, D.C. How many people are near D.C. want to hang out? We got 232 on SubTo Zoom. We've got a couple hundred people over on YouTube. FindYourRhythm.com. Come hang out with me. Lucius says they're still teaching bird dogging in 2025. You see how Lucius has like moved on to other topics? Lucius, yes, they're still teaching bird dogging in 2025. You know what else they're teaching? Driver's ed. They're still teaching the alphabet. These things will always be taught, my friend. Always, always be taught. Why? Because there's always people that are learning how to get into the business. Do you appreciate that we teach this stuff in 2025?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Can you guys all go in the side comments and say, Lucius, chill out, bro? He'll be like, sell me a deal. It will be fine. Okay, findyourrhythm.biz, B-I-Z. Okay, got it. Yes, you will always find people. Now, what did I say in the post yesterday or the day before? I said, I'm going to retire bird dogging from my lips at least for 2025. Okay. Any other questions? Heck yeah. I think we got like 3 over here. This is great.
Pace, I was going to ask, you said Maddie was sending you 5 or 6 deals a day. And as I was,
let me fix that.
Okay.
There were days where she would send us 5 or 6 deals a day. Then there were days where the shelter kicked her out on the street. She didn't have a place to stay. She didn't have Wi-Fi, so she didn't send me any deals for 4 days, right?
Okay.
But there were days where she was cranking, like sending me 5 or 6 deals a day. Yes. Go ahead with your question.
I think I know the answer, but I was going to ask, where was she getting these deals? How did she find these wholesalers? You told her how to find. Yeah.
Our free Facebook group, I said, do not take deals from people that are not in SubTo. So what she was doing is she was going in the free Facebook group because she was not in SubTo. I did not give her access to the SubTo directory. I said, use the free Facebook group and find suppliers that are in SubTo. And when somebody said that they were in SubTo, what did she do? She went to support@subto.com and said, hey, I want to do business with this person. Are they in SubTo? And she found, I think she found like 22 suppliers in her first week.
Nice.
Yeah. She also found like 30 people that were posing as SubTo members that were not.
Good to know.
Yeah. It happens all the time. Hold on. Well, I'll get to that, but we're passing the mic around apparently.
Hey, so there's suppliers that are out there that are asking for NDAs. What's your suggestion on that? So if they're asking, and some of them are companies. So if they're
You're talking about Best Western?
New Western?
No. Best Western, bro.
No. So like New West?
So I wouldn't, for me, if I'm a newbie, I would not do a deal. I would not do my first deal with Best Western.
Yeah. Okay, Best Western.
I like doing business with them, but you know what they require you to do? They require you to close the property, and you pay not only your buyer's closing cost, pays the closing costs. They require you to pay. Who's done a deal with Best Western? Okay, they're a good business. They're a good company to do deals with. I'm not criticizing them, but they're incredibly expensive, and they take out every last drop of juice. It's really hard for a bird dog to make money from that one company. They're the only company in the country that's going to make it so it's really hard for you to do a deal. Do not do your first 10 deals with them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good question. Sorry, Best Western is the only name I come up with. They're not a crappy company. They're a good company, and I like working with them. But again, they go to the seller. They spend a bunch of money on marketing. They want you to pay for them to close escrow. Then they'll sell it to you, and you pay your closing costs and their closing costs, which is an extra $10,000. Guess whose fee goes out the window is the bird dog. By the way, that's the only company. But how did I know it was Best Western? Because they're the only people that will ask for an NDA. If you have somebody asking for an NDA.
Hi. Okay. Next question. In your example, when you gave the where you had the seller, then you had the wholesaler, and you had the 3 bird dogs, and then the buyer. So you had contract A, B, B, C, C, D, etc. going down. The question, and at the end, and for the final bird dog, you opted not to sign a contract with them.
Dang it! I knew this was
Is
gonna
there
come up.
something, or it was a handshake agreement?
It's a handshake
Right,
agreement.
right. I understand. Is there some reason not to, or is there a penalty with the title company if there's too many bird dogs in the
Every once in a while,
process?
you'll run into a title company that will charge you $25 or up to $100 per assignment.
That's what I was thinking. Something
But
like that.
that is rare. The main thing is I own a title company, and I know how annoying it is to have, when you're in a rush, that was actually a rush situation. And the reason we elected to not have her in the transaction is because the transaction closed in like 4 days from the day I found it to the day we bought it. So I elected to just make their life easier, but they did not charge any extra for the assignment. But it's a good question. I should have never given you that example, but it's a good example. Yes.
Not in SubTo yet. Definitely plan on getting into it. But during the first bird dog live stream, there was a list of buyers and sellers that you guys gave out. Has that list been updated yet?
I will not update that. I actually, you know what sucks about giving free resources to people that are in like the free Facebook group?
Mm-hmm.
A good amount of those people have entitlement. And so where that buyer's list came from is I used to be the largest, not largest, I was in top 3 largest Homevestor franchise owners. So We Buy Ugly Houses. I was number 3 in the nation. And I was also the head of the marketing department. I'd fly out to Dallas every month and I'd spend all this time with like the big media. They're spending billions of dollars on marketing, right? Every year. And I was involved in those conversations. So I got the full list of all the people that are Homevestor buyers, like the We Buy Ugly Houses people that are spending 20 grand a month in marketing to get into the living room.
Yeah.
So that list, I used to only give it to SubTo members. And one day I decided to give it to non-SubTo members. And guess who is the only people that ever complain about that list?
The non-members.
The non-members with entitlement, right? The victim mentality. They don't look at things as a gift. I'm not saying that to you, but I had people go, there's people on this list that haven't been buying they retired 3 years ago. Okay, but did you talk to other people? No joke. I don't know if you heard this on the training. There was a guy that goes, I talked to 4 people and 3 of them are retired. I go, what about the 4th person? Well, yeah, he said he's going to buy deals for me, but those other 3 people. This was on a live training like 2-3 weeks ago. And I just go, I'm not giving those resources out anymore. I don't have the updated Homevestor list. Out of the 1,100 franchise owners, everybody in SubTo has access to all 1,100 people. I think 200 of those people have retired. There's 900 people still on that list. How big was the list that we gave to the freebies? We gave 700 of the 1,100 to the free people, and it's outdated, but not significantly outdated. The only reason it's outdated is some of them are retired.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still like smart people to communicate with, but not all of them are actively buying.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Is that all we got? This is great. Yes, Kyle Cargus, my friend. There's no way this man has a question.
I wanted to share something with you real quick. And maybe this is helpful, but
you guys are having another baby.
No, that's not happening. We are done, but we said we were done after 2, and then the 3rd one came. But when you send the deals as a bird dog, I can't tell you how many people never even get to 10 properties that they send me. Right?
Thank you for this, Kyle.
You're talking about 1 in 30, 1 in whatever. And I'm thinking, I get 2%, 3% that cross that 10 deal threshold. They just come up short.
Okay, so this is Kyle. You're bringing up such a good point. Thank you, and I would have missed this, dude. Thank you, bro. I love you, dude. Thank you for being my homie. So what Kyle just said, I'm sure everybody heard. He says as people bring things to him, because he's on a list, and people know Kyle Cargus. He says less than 2% of people ever get past the 10 house mark. Less than 2% of people. That's such a good expectation to make sure you lay out. Thank you for that. The other thing that I would add on top of that is people go, well, Pace is teaching hundreds of people bird dogging, so it's competitive. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but there is no such thing as competition because 95% of people will literally just not do the work, right? So you'll see 1,000 people. You got a couple hundred people in here. You got 300 people on Zoom. You've got 350 people on YouTube. We got 700-800 people right here learning bird dog. The last 3 months, I've been doing it on free trainings. I think we've probably trained 7,000 or 8,000 people how to do bird dog from its basic situation. The reason why we're doing an in-person thing in my office, do you know why? It's to freaking hold people accountable and going, you're not leaving the office until you do your work. And we're basically like doing personal training because of what Kyle just said. The advantage is being in the room and actually having somebody hold you accountable. There is no such thing as competition, especially based on what Kyle just said. Great freaking point. Last question, if we have one, and we'll wrap up.
So does the buyer send the last bird dog a contract?
Does the buyer send the last bird dog a contract? So no. Dajay, you didn't have to do any paperwork on my deal, correct?
No.
Okay, so if you are bird dogging for me, which actually you will probably not bird dog your first deal for me, you will be in a room full of 200 other people in the community, and chances you and I doing a deal on your first deal is basically zero. You'll have so many people in the room you'll be able to do a deal with. Your buyer will not send you the contract to be like, hey, Ellie, go do the paperwork. You're going to go, and you won't know what to do.
Not to do the paperwork, but to sign so you can ensure that you get paid.
Okay, so we covered this, which means I either went through it fast or I didn't explain it well enough. Your main, guys, I don't know what it is about bird dogs. Your guys' main stress is like, how do I get paid? Here's the question we're not allowed to ask anymore. Do not ask the question of how do I get paid? Go with a good quality buyer, you'll get paid. How do I find a good quality buyer? Revert back to an hour ago, we covered that. Don't go to buyers in free Facebook groups and assume they're going to pay you. Assume free Facebook groups are going to screw you over. Go find the qualified buyers the way I just showed you, Deal Sauce or inside the community. First and foremost, you're in Arizona, right? Kyle Kargas would be a good person to go and do deals with. By the way, we have like 400 unbelievable members in SubTo here locally that are all buying and doing some sort of deal. You have no shortage of quality buyers. Focus on that buyer and ask them the question, how do I make sure I get paid? And they're going to say the same thing I already said. Every newbie will ask that question, and in 2 weeks, you're going to ask that question again. Your buyer will ensure you get paid, and that's the one thing you do not need to worry about, especially since you're in SubTo. If that person ever took advantage of you, they're gone.
So it's just a verbal agreement.
Your buyer will do the paperwork for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's the answer, and I would write that down. Dajay, are your other buyers as good as I am in terms of doing the paperwork?
No. No.
Why not? Tell me what the experience is.
I mean, you're the best.
Well, I know, but like, are they?
Just say it.
Are they making it hard or challenging, or they do the paperwork too?
I mean, yeah, they do paperwork too. I mean, I had a buyer that was like, "Hey, are you gonna fill out the contract? Are you gonna do this?"
And you said no.
And I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm
And
not
then,
even gonna
and then
lie."
they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they helped me out, and that was actually a buyer in the SubTo community.
There you go. So the buyer, imagine like a buyer might be driving around. He's at a stop sign. He goes, hey, yeah, let's do the deal, but can you fill out the paperwork? Dajay's like, no. He goes, all right, fine, I'll do it when I get home. That's probably what happened, right?
Yeah, pretty close.
Cool. So yeah, you don't need to worry about the paperwork. Don't worry about the paperwork. You'll worry about the paperwork. Don't worry about the paperwork.
I just wanted to add to what he said in regards to like bird dogs stop sending deals after a while. I would say it's like because like even though I hit that deal with you, yeah, you know, I detoured, but before that I kept sending deals and stuff, and then you stop your bypass. You know, you paused it, but I say all of that to say it's like mindset wise in regards to that. Think of every time your buyer rejects that property that you send, think of it as like, hey, I'm
I'm one deal closer.
Yeah.
I'm one step closer to a yes. Don't think of it as a rejection. And when they do say, hey, I don't want this deal, ask for feedback. Don't just be like, oh my God, why did I want it? So
Just say, hey,
always
yeah.
ask for feedback.
Always ask for feedback. Here's the thing about buyers. Most of them are just like me and Kyle. Like super chill, busy guys. They want to do deals with you. They want to help. What's fun too about the people in our community you'll find as the buyers is most of them have hit a level that Kyle and I have hit, which is like, I actually get more happiness from watching somebody get their first deal than I do making 55 grand. Like I made 55 grand on our deal. I'm more excited about her money she made than I on mine. At some point, like you don't care about your money. You're just like, this is my business. It's what I do. But the fact that this person did their first deal with me is the greatest feeling on the planet. That is your buyer. They're looking forward to that, what we call a helper's high. They want that. So don't be intimidated by a buyer. The only person you should be intimidated by talking to is a seller that's in foreclosure. And guess what you're not going to have to do for your bird dog deal? Talk to a seller who's in foreclosure. Yes, yours on.
Yeah, first off, thank you for doing this, as always. I wish I had the same training when I joined SubTo 2 years ago, but I didn't have because it didn't exist, I guess.
It existed. I just never, I mean, obviously people in SubTo have been doing bird dog deals since day one, but I just never hammered home on the training and like created a little mini course around it. We spent a lot more of our time with like direct to seller outreach and all that kind of stuff. So good point.
But there's no excuse that you can't do it because I just can't tell from my experience that when I started, it was little like the same. I bird dog for one guy out of Pennsylvania, Jerome Campbell, but
yeah,
I don't know, disappeared for some reason. I don't know, couldn't find him. So, but anyways, there's no excuse that you can't do and you can't succeed. It's just so simple because I'm a wholesaler, and just to get one deal, one of the recent deals that I've wholesaled, it was like literally like 75 touches, to get under contract. So it's just consistency, and KPI is just insane. So it's just a point for the Kyle. People won't last like after 10 touches with the people, So my point is basically consistency, and one of the recent that I sold, the wholesale was 80 and it was just insane. 6 months follow up, and it was juicy, check.
Jeez, did you say juicy?
Juicy. I mean, yeah, not so juicy as my first deal. The first deal I closed, the very first deal I joined SubTo. After 3 weeks of joining SubTo, I closed for 40K.
40K.
Yeah.
You still have all that money, right?
Yeah, I mean, I split it with my partner. So
this is yours on, guys. He's amazing. First generation immigrant, just moved out from Florida to hang out here.
Just because of you, Pace, again. I mean,
really?
Because of you, because of you, UPW, Unleash Power Within, I met you through Dean Graziosi. Because of Dean, I found you, and because of you, bunch of people literally moved from Kazakhstan to US by seeing me that I'm like kind of doing stuff. I'm kind of like chain,
awesome, dude. That's
it's
so
like,
awesome.
Because of you have changed my life. I'm changing kind of changing people's life, like from Kazakhstan. And for all Americans here, it's God-given to be born here in the United States.
Do you mind if I send a text to Tony and Dean real fast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Just say hi. You're just going to say hi, but you'll know when to say hi. Hold on. Hey, Dean, I've got yours on right here from Kazakhstan. He met me through you at UPW.
UPW, yeah. Unleash Power Within. Dean, thank you so much. Because of you changed my life, because you let Pace speak on your stage with the sneakers. I remember that one.
How much did you make on your first deal, by the way?
First deal is 40K.
40K.
Insane.
And you've been in the community for 2 years now.
2 years, yeah.
And you've done a bunch of deals, obviously, but now you have people from your country moving to America because they're seeing your success.
Yes.
Proud of you, brother.
Yeah. Thank
Love
you.
you, dude.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Pace.
So there you go. This is why, I love having friends in the community. I love watching people win at a level that, I never thought was even possible for me. Dude, you're killing it. So proud of you.
You just had babies.
Yeah. What's that? I don't know. I'll call the immigration department. I don't know. Oh, look at my wife. My wife says, I
just want to
think.
add, sir, and I didn't even speak English at all when I came here, and like
This is why every word he says is creative finance words. That's how he learned.
Yeah, there's no excuses that you can't close deals. I mean, you have tool as an English language. Like
Can you
first language.
highlight my wife's comment on the screen? Can you take this screen and pop it up on here so people can see my wife's? My wife is such a dirty bird. What did she say? Oh, right here. I think Pace needs to get lucky tonight for that.
I know that's right.
You just bird dogged me getting laid, bro. Freaking assignment contract, baby. Yeah, my wife, she's a special. I got so lucky. So lucky. Okay, was this helpful? Okay, can we retire bird dog training for a while? Okay. I want to move on to like car washes and RV parks and all the things I'm excited about. I'm excited about bird dogging too. I want people to continually bird dog for me and other people. But now going forward, I'm just going to send them this training, but watch this and then come into the community and ask questions to people and other members. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. And Ellie, we'll see you next week in the Bird Dog Challenge in this room. Everybody in this room for a whole entire week is going to be doing bird dogging together. Awesome. Do you have are you coming? Can we make sure that Daji is here? We should just have her teach the whole class.
I literally live like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, come hang out. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you here. All right, guys, give it up for the team that ran this and stayed late, please. They all stayed till 8 o'clock at night. Like, how freaking awesome is that? And we'll see you guys later. I'm going to run home to my wife for some reason.